I might just flash out on my pappy for that whole shit that he did. How you fucking on my mama, but couldn't take care of your kids? What's the point of calling you daddy when you never was a father? And what's the point of reaching out when a nigga ain't ever even bothered? So what's the point of me talking? I picked the same kind of VD. What's the point of him being 32, fucking me at 17? What's the point of being sad? They just gon' label you as fast, cause you know dope boys not pedophiles long as they get in the bag. So what's the point of being mad? You better off not giving a fuck. They be screaming they hate P. Diddy, but still love they uncles. What's the point of keeping secret if he a threat to all the nieces? And why y'all hurting all the angels so you can protect all the demons? I might just flash out on my pappy for that whole shit that he did. How you fucking on my mama, but couldn't take care of your kids? What's the point of calling you daddy when you never was a father? And what's the point of reaching out when a nigga ain't ever even bothered? So what's the point of me talking? I picked the same kind of VD. What's the point of him being 32, fucking me at 17? What's the point of being sad? They just gon' label you as fast, cause you know dope boys not pedophiles long as they get in the bag. So what's the point of being mad? You better off not giving a fuck. They be screaming they hate P. Diddy, but still love they uncles. What's the point of keeping secret if he a threat to all the nieces? And why y'all hurting all the angels so you can protect all the demons?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edward Joseph, and let's talk live. Diddy, did you do it? All right, let's talk. But today, people, has been such an interesting day. I am here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, Diddy, did you do it? You guys come on in. You guys come on in. You guys come on in, for there's so much to talk about, peoples. You guys come on in. Peoples, I am here and I am back, and I am back to ask the question. I'm back to ask the question, peoples. Diddy, did you do it? Peoples, there's so much that is happening on today. So many things that's happening. Jay-Z, his son, is about to get retribution for all of the time and effort that he had spent trying to get his father to go ahead and Jay-Z's son is trying to get him to go ahead and acknowledge that he is his kid and things. And so he has up until, I believe, the 18th of July to take the paternity test. And even if he doesn't take it, peoples, I said, even if he doesn't take it, it's okay, because at the end of the day, peoples, I said, at the end of the day, he is still going to be liable, and he's still are going to be to the degree to where he is going to be deemed his father. And when that happens, peoples, I mean, hey, you know, he's going to have to pay up. He's going to have to pay back child support and all of this stuff. And it's wonderful, peoples, because at the end of the day, I mean, hey, you know, you shouldn't have did what you did in the first place, but you did do it. You did it. You did it. And so because you did it, my son, now you're going to have to pay the consequences for your actions and things. See, you cheated up on Beyonce. And then ain't nothing that Beyonce can say. All she can do is just sit up there and just like, oh, well, you know, now the cat's is out the bag and stuff. This man had more babies than not. And he cheated on me, but yet I still stayed with him. And for what? And that's the question that I raise. People's, why is the man still with her? You know, she has to be crazy. She has to be crazy, peoples, because see, the thing is, you know, it be shown that he is the father of him, then you know what that means, peoples. That means, peoples, is that he was messing with a minor, you know, Kendrick Lamar. They're not like us. And they're not like us. They're not like us. And so people's, he is just like President T. They like him young, you know. So that's the new haps that's happening right now, people's. Tonight, I really want to get into this. Tonight, I really want to get in this tonight, peoples. I really do, because there is so much that's happening in things, and everybody's got an opinion about all of this stuff. It's so much stuff that is going on, and everybody's got an opinion. And I want the people to come out. I want the people to come to the panel, and I want the people to talk. I want you guys to really, you know, let me know what you feel. I want your opinions on tonight. I don't want the people just to be sitting in the chat room, chalking it up and things like that. So here, let me do this. Doing things different on StreamYard. So it's, the functions is a little different, but let me share my screen, people. Let me share the link. So I want you guys to come. I want you guys to hit that link. I want you guys to come to the panel, and I want you guys to come and talk with Edward Joseph. I want you guys to talk with me tonight because it's so much going on. A lot of people have their thoughts and views and theories when it comes down to this case, peoples. A lot of people has a whole lot of theories and things. And it's amazing, people. It's really amazing. It's really amazing the stuff that the people have been saying behind the scenes. Now, I want the people to come to the live and say what they needed to say, and not just sit behind the scenes and say what they want to say. Do you understand what I'm saying, peoples? I want the people to come on, and I want the people to come and talk with Edward Joseph and let me know what your thoughts and views and feelings is and things. I'm going to be sharing some things, people. So I'm going to be sharing a couple of lives and stuff of what these people had did and whatnot. And I want to get your take up on it. And I want you to get your take up on this one particular live that has happened. And this guy, Clayton Howard, had came on to this gentleman channel, The Art of Dialogue. And he had literally talked about Cassie Ventura. He had literally exposed her for the nefarious madness that she has been doing in things. And, he had literally from his own lips had told you peoples all of what she had done, peoples. Now, many of you thought that Cassie was innocent. Many of you thought that Cassie had been raped by Diddy, but Diddy was never charged with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so this gentleman here, he's literally just going to tell you who Cassie is and the various things Cassie had done. He is going to tell you that from his own lips, peoples, not Edward Joseph. He's going to tell you that. And it's amazing to me, peoples, because see, now he confirmed what a lot of people had been saying. And that is Diddy is little. He's confirming that. He's confirming the various things that Cassie had said about him. And so, hey, whether he's big or little, I don't know because, like I say, I wasn't there. He confirmed that himself. Do you understand what I'm saying? He confirmed that himself. And so, y'all hold on for a second. I got to type this in. so I can go ahead and get my history back up on my okay, here. Let me do this. Y'all hold on a second. Okay. All right. Cool. There you go. So like I said, he confirmed that y'all hold on, let me hold on, y'all. Let me say something here. Okay, so that's in. Let me do this. Let me call it this real quick, peoples. I'm gonna call it this real quick. So good. Let me put that up on silent and let me do this. Okay, I want to share this, but before I do that, before I share it, let me copy it and let me download it because I don't want to share it directly from the website. I'm going to download it and do it that way. So I'm downloading this video that we're going to play back on tonight, peoples. We're going to listen to this gentleman who was on the Art of Dialogue's channel, and we're going to listen to what he had to say, peoples, because see, he said a lot, in his commentary and testimony. He told you about Diddy and Diddy's condition. You know, he's the one with the Mandingo Warrior. And the reason why he had called, I mean, the reason why he was called, because, like he said, Diddy is little. And Cassie used to complain about that. Diddy is little. Now, peoples, I'm only going to go by what they said. It ain't what I'm saying. Everything is what they said. I have I have no, I'm not taking no sides or anything. I'm not here to try to vilify Diddy or put him down and stuff because see, again, you gotta be able to show your proof before you can tell any truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? But see, he has the proof because this is his own words. He was there, I wasn't. So we only can go by what he said, and obviously it must be something because they kept calling him back and they kept paying him and things to do some things and whatnot. So obviously both of them were satisfied. And he made a lot of money behind it. And so, he told you, well, no. You know what I'm saying? I can leave my opinion to myself. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave my opinion to myself and I'm going to let him tell his story because, see, he can tell it better than I can. I wasn't there. He was there. And so he's going to tell it better than I can. And I want the people to come in and I want the people to chime out on tonight. Y'all been waiting for me to go live. So I'm here. I'm live. And we're going to get into this. There's a lot of stories that I'm going to cover on tonight, people. So it ain't just all about Diddy. Because, see, you all said that Diddy had raped her, Cassie. And I said, well, Diddy was never charged with rape. Cassie and all of them said that he had made them do it. But see, had made them do it is a generic way of saying or doing or thinking people's. Yeah, Diddy made them do it. Well, did he make them do what? I mean, did he lay hands on them to make them? Did he force them? What happened? Okay, peoples. Yeah, my mic went out. I don't know what's going on. I guess they're not liking me or something, but whatever. But I'm here. See, the thing is, peoples, they said that Diddy made them do it. But did Diddy have that power to make these people do anything? So he made them do it, but yet they came back to keep doing more. So is that what it is, peoples? Diddy has that power to make people do things, but yet they keep coming back to do more. I mean, come on, peoples, really? That doesn't make no sense to me, peoples. I said that doesn't make no sense to me. So this is only a 14-minute live, people. So we're gonna sit here. We're gonna listen to what this gentleman had to say because he like really brought it on. Now I know that light-skinned women love chocolate men, and I don't know if this man has been taking some enhancers or anything like that, you know. I don't know what they saw in him, but they saw something. But he was macking and he was packing. But this is who he is, people. This is what he said. So I'm gonna see if I can be able to share this live in a different way because I'll be wanting to look at things in the background. But if I try to share it, the way that I'm going to share it, you guys may not hear it. But I'm gonna try anyway. It's best to just see what I can do and things. But let me see. I'm gonna have to try different things so I can share my screen because they got the controls on here a little different. So maybe I can do it that way. Maybe I can do it this way. Here, let me do this. Let me see if I can put this in my let me see if I can put this in a different program. Put this in my, where is it at? So I'm gonna close it up. I'm gonna open it in here. I'm gonna see if I can put this in my downloads. So let me put this in my downloads and see if I can open it up through there. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen this way. And I'm gonna call up that video and see. Okay, my downloads. There it is right there. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay. All right, people. Let's sit back and let's look at what this gentleman had to say about Cassie Ventura. But before I do that, people, let me go ahead and let me share my screen. Let me go with my disclaimer right quick here. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, people. That is my disclaimer. Let me go ahead and call up my other disclaimer here. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me go to my desktop, call up my other disclaimer here. You got to protect yourself before you wreck yourself, people. So, So where is my other disclaimer at? Got to call up my disclaimer. Okay. Nope. That's not it. Let me go to the desktop. and see where is my other disclaimer. Okay, I played that one. Disclaimer. This video uses a unique codec that your browser does not support. To convert the codec, contact us if you need to. All right, so here, let me put this in my editing software and let me go ahead and convert this disclaimer here. So I'm gonna go here and I'm going to put this in my editing software and I'm going to convert it to MPEG 4. Okay. Let me go ahead and convert that real quick. Then I should be able to play it. Okay. And then let me put no. Okay, let me put that on my desktop. Put that in. Where is the disclaimers at? Let me go to my desktop. Oh, no. I need to. Oh, where did I put it at? Okay, so let me see. Allegedly, no. $7:05 p.m. 12. Allegedly, no. Allegedly, no. All right. So where did it go? Where did it go, peoples? I just converted it. Warnings and disclaimer. Let me copy this and then let me do a search for that. Let me do a search on my Windows. And let me see if I can find it that way. Because I just renamed it. I should have put it on the desktop first before I did anything. So it's looking for it. I mean, I can always convert it again if need be and just save some time, and I think that's what I'm going to do. It's in one of the folders, so I think it's on my D drive, but I don't know what drive I'll put it on. Let me see. Here, so just for the sake of time, let me just go ahead and resubmit it. Yeah, because I don't know what I did with it. I renamed it, then I did something. So let me go ahead and reconvert it. So I'm gonna put it in there. Converter. Yeah, put it right here. Then I'm just gonna put it on my desktop. Then that way I'll have it. Okay. And so let me go. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. And then we're going to put it right there. Okay. So that is on the desktop. And then we're going to call it up. So let's call it up in the, let's call it up on StreamYard here in my files. So let me go to the video file. I go to the desktop. There we go. Now, all things in this video has allegedly occurred. We hold no responsibility for what is being spoken. Meaning, peoples, whatever I say, you say, or anybody else say in this video has allegedly occurred, and we hold no responsibility to what is being spoken. All right, peoples, that is it. That's all. I had did my disclaimer. That's cool. So now let's go ahead and let's listen to the art of dialogue. And let's listen to the gentleman who had the things he had to say about Cassie Ventura. Let's go, peoples.
Clayton Howard, happy to have you on the platform, my guy.
Thank you very much, brother. It's a pleasure to be here.
For the people that's not familiar with you, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, I'm Clayton Howard. Unfortunately, I am one of the male providers or escorts, if you want to call them, that was heavily mixed up in the Diddy and Cassie matter.
Yes, indeed. So with that being said, I want to take it from the beginning. How did you first meet Diddy and Cassie?
Wow, that's a crazy story in itself. So I actually got incarcerated because a lot of these guys are like strippers and dancers. I'm gonna be honest. I used to be out there. Like I lived a very different life than I live right now. I got into some trouble in my early 20s, so they sent me to prison. And when I got out, I was in amazing shape. The jail glow, big arms, big shoulders, six-pack abs. I had no problem getting women. So I was sleeping with this woman that I had like met in Manhattan or something, and she actually owned an independent agency that managed escorts. Some from basically busting her back down, she's like, "Yo, you are amazing. You realize you can make money from this." I think she's just gassing me. I'm like, "Baby, whatever." She's like, "No, I'm serious. Look at your body. You're amazing in bed." She's like, "Yo, I could make money for you. What's up?" And I'm like, "Get out of here with this." So she's coming at me for weeks with this art, weeks. Again, I had just came home. I'm trying to get a job. I don't want to, go back to selling rock. So I had the idea to sell cock. I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Post me up. So let's see what happens. So she posts me up. And immediately I start getting calls from like older white couples, married men with wives, late 40s, early 50s. It would turn out that would be my niche, older white women love an in shape, dark skinned black man. And it was pretty profitable for a while. I want to say 60 days in is when I got the call from Cassie. Calling the woman through the agency that hired me independently. She calls me up. She says, "Listen, this girl saw your pictures and she's in love. She wants you to come over." I'm like, "Word?" Shorty tells me the girl sounds like she looks amazing.
Wow, people said that's amazing. He went from selling rock to selling cock. And he showed his pictures and things, and then everybody just started wanting to come by. I mean, hey, nah, I ain't gonna try to do it. I ain't gonna try to do it, peoples. I don't sell rock and I don't sell cock, so nah, I'm not into that. But I mean, it just makes you wonder, peoples, when these people they be taking all of these pictures and posting it up on the internet, and they're selling their stuff. I mean, they're selling it, and he's sitting around and he's having sex with all of these different people. You got to wonder, They have all of these male enhancement tools out there and things. And I've always wondered, do men really use pumps, and do they pop pills to try to get big, and what is it that they do? Because you got all kinds of stuff out there that they would want to sell you and things, but then you know you just don't know, because you can't really trust everything. But I've always been curious as to when these guys be saying, yeah, we got our stuff, and we can do this, that, and the other. Well, really, really, peoples. I mean, I've always wondered. And for these people to be having all of these people calling them up to have sex with them and stuff, I mean, is that a life that any of you would want to do? You got men and women calling you, older white couples and all like that and stuff. I mean, you're going to do somebody's wife? I mean, oh my God, people, I just can't phantom that. But I mean, hey, hey, he said that he made a living doing it. So, and the lady said that he was good in bed. So, I mean, if that's what floats your boat, peoples, then hey, but I'm just curious to see what he has to say about Freaky Cassie. Let's listen in, peoples.
I said, all right, give her my number. Let me talk to her. Whatever. She sends me Cassie's number. She gives Cassie my number. Before I could even call Cassie, Cassie calls me. Hey, what's up? Dave? Yeah, what's going on? She's like, yo, I saw your pictures. I like what I saw. Is that really your, manhood? Yeah, that's mine. She's like, all right, I'm in the London hotel in New York. You want to come see me? We go through the subtleties, and I'm called to the London. That's the first time I meet Cassie.
And when you first met her, how did that go?
When I first met her, it was dope. I was obviously surprised by how beautiful she was. I never expected a woman that gorgeous to open the door. Never. I remember when she opened the door, I was so stuck. I was looking at her like, wow, look at this woman. And she actually had to speak to me just to snap me out of it. Like, yo, bro, hey, Dave. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So it was a lot to first see her, and it immediately put my guard up because she was too attractive. I'm like, why is this woman paying some guy to come here and give her a massage? She could get anybody to get her a massage. Why does she want me to get her a massage? And I would find out later it had nothing to do with a massage. She wanted me to give her the works.
So how did she first bring that up to you, that she wanted to have sex with you?
Let's see. I walk into the suite with her, beautiful suite. I'm sitting in the living room. We talk for a few minutes. She offers me a drink, whatever. We're just like basically getting to know each other. She then says, let me see what you're working with. I said, okay, cool. By then I was a little drunk. I had a few drinks. I'm like, all right. I show her. She starts salivating. She's like, yeah, that's what's up. She says, all right. She takes out a joint. She passes me a joint. This is when she tells me that her husband is there and he wants to watch. Now, prior to this, she never told me she was with anyone else. She tells me at this point that he's there, he's cool, he's into her being satisfied by guys that are larger than him. He's really into the lifestyle. She starts to explain to me that they're swingers. They do their little, like swinging stuff. She asked me, did I have a problem with him watching? Now, considering my past clients, I had no problem with him watching because I had done this with the 3 or 4. I actually think I had like 5 solid clients by then. And usually when husbands called me to give me their wives, they usually watched the first encounter if it went to a sexual encounter. So they would basically sit in the room and watch to make sure their wife is safe. So when, Cassie said this to me, I was kind of, I want to say, numb to the situation of someone watching me from a voyeur standpoint. So I said, cool, no problem. And he came down. He was really quiet. He had his face covered with a baseball cap. I think it was Pittsburgh because it had a yellow P on it, and his bandana wrapped around his nose and his mouth. He spoke to me like, yeah. I said, yeah. Barely said a word. Immediately grabbed a bottle of baby oil, went to the dark corner, sat in the corner. Cassie comes up to me. She starts talking to me, complimenting my body, my chest. She asked Diddy, can she begin? Can she touch me? He told her no, put the baby oil on. And that was my education that night into how the next 8 years would be.
So he was cool with a man having a bigger manhood than him. He was turned on by that.
Yes, he was. There were even encounters where I remember specifically with the gentleman who testified first for the trial, Daniel Phillip. I remember when this guy paid us for the orgy with Cassie, that he was actually looking at me and Daniel Phillip, and he was like, "Yo, if I had you guys, like manhood, I wouldn't even have to work. I wouldn't have to do nothing." And me and Daniel Phillip looked at each other like, "Whoa, what the hell is he talking about?" You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you think he hired you because you can please Cassie in ways he couldn't?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't like to talk this way about Cassie because she does deserve the respect of the confidentiality of our sexual encounter. But I think she kind of forwent that by speaking about it herself and bringing this before the media. But when I used to have sex with Cassie, Cassie used to come like that, literally like that. I don't know how. Like, I watched her and Diddy have sex. He wasn't doing what I was doing. I would have sex with her in maybe 5 minutes. She'd squirt and come all over the place.
Wow. Did you guys hear that shit? He will have sex with her for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and then she will just blow the top. She will just squirt rivers of waters. It would be just like Niagara Falls. And unfortunately, P. Diddy with the little P, you know, little P. Diddy couldn't even do anything, I mean, he was jealous. He was jealous. So I'm saying, well, if this man had used enhancers, or if he used pills, or whatever to get his manhood up and running like a donkey, well, why couldn't he tell Diddy what to do, so he can try to explore some options to try to enhance in things? I mean, it ain't no reason to stay small forever, right? But if that's just the way that you are, well, then now I can understand why he had all of these people to keep Cassie satisfied and stuff, because he couldn't do it. And so when Cassie had said that he's ain't working with nothing but a little P. Diddy, well, then, his little P. Diddy couldn't even satisfy her little kitty. And that's how it is, people. That's how it is. That's how it came about. P couldn't even get his Diddy up. P. Diddy. Little P. Diddy. Or no P. Diddy. Well, unfortunately, people's P. Diddy couldn't do it. And that's what it is. He had a very bad time, people saying he had to use Mr. Mandingo to come and satisfy his woman. And so he had to sit back and watch. And I mean, that pretty much pleasured him by sitting back and saying his woman get pounded. Now, they said that it lasted for several days, and there was blood stains all over everywhere, and this and that and the other. And I'm kind of like, well, how did he do that guy when we heard that sound, and the guy was up in there, oh, no, 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 screaming and hollering, doing all like that and stuff. And he's supposed to be rocking his boots and stuff. And I'm kind of like, well, if he ain't got no, if he ain't got no P, no manhood, how in the hell is he doing it in anybody's, you know, bottom side? How? I've always tried to understand that, peoples, because if he ain't got no manhood, well, then how can he please a man? Do you understand what I'm saying? How could they be scrapping and scraping like he says if he ain't got no manhood? I like it the way you scrap and scrape, daddy. I like that, daddy. But that's what P. Diddy said to the man. So my question is, how could he please a man and he couldn't even please Cassie? That's crazy to me, people. I don't try to figure it out because I mean, it is what it is, and that's what it is. And so, I mean, it ain't none of my business, and I ain't trying to see it and things, and but I'm just curious, how could he perform with a man, and he can't even perform with a woman? It just makes you wonder, unless he was using a strap on. And even with that, how could that happen? Well, I guess if you ain't got a manhood, I guess you can strap on a strap on. I mean, I don't know, peoples. I don't know, man. Looky here, peoples. I don't know. I'm just only going by what they said, and this is pretty much what they said. So you can use your imagination as to how things, is and whatnot. Maybe some of you women are going through having this problem and whatnot, and maybe you probably decided that you want to call a male escort to come in and ring your bell. I mean, the thing is, people, is if you want to get satisfied, you got to do something, right? So either you're going to do it yourself or you're going to find somebody to do it for you. So, yeah, it's crazy. But based upon what he said, it kind of validates what Cassie had said, because now you got two different people pretty much saying the same thing, but not directly just, saying it in things. Because from what he's doing is basically saying, he doesn't have it like that. And he can't satisfy Cassie. So in order to keep Cassie around, well, then he has to have a fill-in. And I guess this man is to fill in. And so, he's like, hell, he's going to get him some clientele, boy. I'm sure some of you ladies is going to look him up and call him. 1-800 ring my bell. That's the number. 1-800 ring my bell. So y'all go ahead and press that button and ring. Y'all go ahead and press that button so he can come and ring your bell. But I'm just kind of curious, what is it that he is making? Because he said he's got 5 solid clients. 5 solid clients. So he's having fun and he's making money having fun. And really don't care who's watching him, because at the end of the day, he's getting paid. That's interesting. You know, that's interesting. So he's not so much concerned about what he could have caught. You know, he's not concerned about getting any type of disease or anything like that. You know, I mean, I guess people in that industry, they don't really care. I mean, if they get it, right? Because I know that is a dangerous situation right there, peoples. Very dangerous. You know, this is you don't know. So you going in blindsided. You don't know what the people have, what they may be this, you know. So how can you gain some recourse behind if you was to go in and you do what you do and then you know you come up with something and whatnot? I mean, what is your recourse? And then how can you pinpoint that it was them? If you are, you know, being with multiple people in things. That's a scary proposition right there, people. I mean, I understand, you know, you can be with beautiful women, young and old and all like this and stuff. And I understand that this is your job and I understand that it's lucrative and things, but then it's also your life as well. It's also your life as well. And you got to be very careful. So interesting. I mean, it's just interesting, people. I mean, you know, hey, that's how they get down, and they swingers like that, and they've been swinging. Well, so we'll see what else he has to say, peoples, because I'm kind of like, wow, you know, it's crazy to me. But hey, I ain't the one who's doing it. This is what they said, peoples.
She was an incredibly sexual young woman, incredibly sexual.
When was the next time y'all met up after the first meeting?
Well, after that encounter, it went for probably, I want to say, a little under a day. But the funny part is when I was leaving, Cassie actually comes to me and she's like, "Yo, that was great. Can you stay longer?" I had been there maybe 12 hours already. So I'm like, you're going to pay me again, right? And she said, absolutely. Hold on. She goes upstairs. She gets me some money. I can't remember how much it was off the top of my head now, but she comes back. She gives me a wad of cash and she was like, yo, how long can you stay? And, you know, basically, honestly, I told her, well, how long are you going to pay me? She said the same amount. I said, as long as you want me to stay, that's the same amount of time. You know, you give me the same amount, I'm going to give you the same time. So I stay with her. We have an excellent, you know, like encounter. It goes really well. I liked Cassie when I met her. Cassie's a very down to earth woman. She's polite. She has excellent energy. There's really no way you could not like Cassie when you meet her. This is the truth. She's a very, very affable and nice person. So I was actually kind of surprised where like 2-3 weeks later, she called me again. And she's like, yo, are you around? And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess you couldn't get enough. She said, no, I've been thinking about you the whole time. What's up? Can you come meet me at the same place? I said, all right. I go back to the London hotel. I meet her in the same place. The same thing happens again. Word for word with the freak offs as far as the baby oil, the stages of a freak off until we finally had intercourse. And then I left till the next time.
Did they give you any rules when it came to the freak offs?
I never was given a role. I was never even told the name of this was a freak off. The truth is, the only time I was ever told or given a name for what these was is the time that me, the first guy who testified, Daniel Phillip, and Diddy actually ran a train on Cassie. And Diddy himself and Cassie called it a sexathon, but they never called it a freak off. The first, I've heard freak offs, you know, because I'm from the hood. People, we all know what freak offs is. But I've never heard it like commercially, publicly, as far as with this case until I started hearing this and with Cassie put in the lawsuit and the fact that the U.S. Attorney's Office was marketing him as making these freak offs.
So Daniel Phillips, he had an orgy with Diddy and Cassie, and they called it a sexathon?
Yes, Diddy and Cassie themselves referred it to a sexathon, but they called me. Daniel Phillip was already there. Cassie actually calls me and she's like, yo, you know, do you mind watching me with another guy. And I did, because I had never been involved with her and someone else. I kind of really thought it was a monogamous situation. Diddy was not well endowed, and she just needed somebody to fill her and satisfy her. So I really believed at this time that that was my role, that I was only being called in because this rich and powerful guy could not satisfy his woman. It wasn't until I got in this freak off that I saw her like in front of Daniel Phillip with and Diddy with like, two penises in her face, that I was realizing like, wow, this chick is not what you think. It was actually a little hurtful, I'll be honest. It was a little heartbreaking when I had to walk in there and see her with penises in her face and to be completely engaged in it, like, oh, like she loves it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I did look at her different.
And you said this lasted 2 days, right?
It lasted 2 days, about a day and a half, 2 days.
How does that work? Because I know y'all not having sex for 2 days straight. So what is y'all doing in between time?
It's in like stages, or what you want to call like sessions. So let's say like in that encounter, I remember specifically like myself, Daniel Phillip, and Diddy might, all three run a train on her. She gets a little exhausted, so she needs a break. They go into the master suite. Me and Daniel Phillip wait in the other room until they're ready again. So basically what happens is you have the session until Cassie has an orgasm. Once Cassie has an orgasm, she usually needs a break. So she'll retire to the master suite, and we're forced to pretty much sit there and wait till she's recuperated enough to come back for another orgasm. And that's how it would last 2, 3 days. Let's say we had sex with her for an hour or two. She might take an hour, hour and a half break. She'll come back. She wants some more. Then she might go take a 2 or 3 hour break. She'll come back. She wants some more. That's pretty much how it went so long.
And where were y'all climax at? Would y'all do that on Cassie, or would y'all get a towel? And I don't know, how does that work?
Well, we all wore condoms this encounter because it was three of us there, and I'm pretty sure she didn't want to like blow up the fact that she was just sleeping with everybody raw. So this encounter, we did wear condoms, and the objective is like if you ejaculated, to take the condom off and kind of like try to put it on her. I was honestly grossed out by this encounter. I don't think I actually ejaculated the entire time, because she used to like she would orgasm so quick that she would be like, wait, because she came, and she would push me up. And this literally went on for 2 days, where like she would orgasm, I would get close, and I wouldn't. So you can imagine the experience, the feeling of blue balls I had leaving there, continually having sex with this woman and never orgasming.
Right. So you was in the sister thing. Not only was you watching, but you was actually involved too.
I joined in because Diddy, when I got to the apartment, I really didn't want to do it. But Diddy comes to me after like maybe 30 minutes sitting there, like, what's up, Playboy? What you going to do? It was either put out or get out. So I kind of had to put out and engage in the situation or leave.
Wow, man, that's
They don't play, put out and get out.
right. Yeah, yeah, Cassie, man. I didn't know she was getting busy like that, man. Damn.
Cassie get busy, yo. Like even it's kind of funny because I think I was telling you, like, now that I've gone public, a lot of other providers are reaching out to me that saw Cassie. And they're like, bro, you got so much courage, bro, because everything you're saying is right. She was with this. This is what she did. And we tried to tell the U.S. attorney. They didn't want to listen to us.
And see, there you have it, peoples. The U.S. attorney did not want to listen to what they had to say because they wanted them to go ahead and paint the picture that Diddy was a monster. They wanted to paint the picture that it was all Diddy's fault. But as he was saying, Cassie was literally directing everything. So it wasn't that she was raped. It wasn't that she was sodomized and all like this. He said, "This is Kathy's nature. This is what Cassie wanted, and this is what Cassie got." Cassie was or probably still is, a freak, just a major freak. And see, Edward Joseph is not telling you that. He is telling you that. It's coming from his lips. It's coming from his lips. He is the one who is describing the encounters. So when we are thinking about, the encounter lasted for 2 days and stuff, but then in some people's minds, they're saying, oh, well, they're going, 24/7, 24/7. No. What the hell was this girl on that she orgasm and then she rests for a couple hours and then she won it again. She rests for a couple hours and then she won again and rests for a couple hours and she won again. I mean, what the hell was these guys on to be able to go and perform for about an hour or so and then not even bust. He's walking out there with blue balls. So I'm sure that man was in pain. That man was in pain. He's walking out there with blue balls because he couldn't get it out his system. So his balls is swelling up and it's paining him. You are engaging in sex and then you can't ejaculate. Oh my God, peoples, man, that's bad. That's real bad. That's real bad. And for her to bust so quickly, have to rest for a moment and then come back. So I'm sure that if she's already busted the first time, and he said that it lasts for about an hour. So, she gets a little bust on and then it takes a while for it to build back up before she can go and bust again and things. But man, that's crazy. You putting in all of this work and you can't even bust. That's crazy, peoples. That's crazy. But I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different, and he's telling you that's the way that it is. So yeah, I mean, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. But it's just amazing to me how they went so long, and within an hour's time, he still couldn't bust. I mean, 5 minutes, and then Cassie is busting all over the place, and but she rests up for a minute, and then she comes back and she do it again. But she's got 3 guys on her. 3 guys? I mean, and I know that had to be embarrassing for Diddy because what was he doing? What was Diddy doing? Oh my God, boy, people, this is some crazy stuff, boy. I mean, but hey, it ain't what I said, it's what they said. And so I guess Diddy was just happy because he swing both ways, both, the ladies and the men. And he's just happy to have a mandingo right next to him. Ah, man, that's this. And see, people's, I'm not going to even try to imagine what went on. I'm not going to even try to imagine because, yeah. But I'm just only here to talk about this because that's what they said. So I'm only just showing you what he said. That's all what he said. And so now you got an understanding as to what was happening in things. And poor little itty bitty Diddy couldn't tame Cassie's kitty. And so with that, peoples, they say you can't tame the savage beast, right? You can't tame the cat. The lioness. I had showed the picture about a lion. The lioness was trying to get the lion's balls, trying to bite his balls and stuff because she was just dissatisfied with his performance. So, oh man, I wish I had that picture. I got it. Probably on my Facebook or something. I know I put that picture somewhere. But the lioness got mad with the lion because the lion wasn't performing. So she snuck around him and started biting on his balls. Boy, I was cracking up. It the look on the lion's face. And so I always said, well, the lioness was Cassie because Cassie is biting Diddy's balls. And he can't get up. Oh my God. He had little ping pong balls. Oh man, boy. You know, this, this whole thing is just crazy to me, people. But he's here just speaking his truth. And hey, hey, that's him, people. He's just here speaking his truth. That's all. So yeah, it is what it is. So so now, ladies, now you understand. If your man ain't performing, you know, hey, there he is right there. There's your Mendingo. So just call him up and he'll whip you into shape. All he needs is just 5 minutes with you, and you good to go. You good to go. I just want you to know that you got options. Now you ain't gotta. I'm not promoting that. I'm not promoting that, but if that's the way that you swing, well then you have a thing right here. You have a ding. And so, you can call him up and here come ring your bell. I mean, that's just an option for you. If brother man ain't setting you straight. So let's listen to what he has to say, peoples. Let's go ahead and listen in here.
And the longest freak off you had with Cassie was 4 days, right? In Miami?
Yes, it was.
Break that down if you don't mind.
That was a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol. It just, something like you didn't even realize when you were in these encounters that they went so long, especially if they like convinced you to take the drug. Because the thing about ecstasy and Molly, those type of drugs, is they're not drugs that suppress you. They don't numb you. They heighten everything. So if you take them, you have a bunch of energy, and like your nerves are, every nerve in your body is alive because you have the sexual sensation to continue to go forward. So with drugs like these, you just stay up and you don't even realize that you're up so long because you're kind of like having fun. You feel good. So you're constantly having sex. Before you know it, you start in the morning. It's nighttime. You might doze off for maybe 30 minutes, start having sex again. By the time you finish, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We fall asleep for a few hours. We wake up 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, order breakfast, start again. And before you know it, you're 3-4 days in, dehydrated, brain feel like marshmallow from all the drugs that you've been taking for 3 or 4 days, and your body's sore, you're marked up. Like I used to be bruised as far as my penile shaft from obsessive masturbation of her standing there making me stroke myself so she can see my member. I don't recall the extended sessions as that were 3-4 days to ever end well. Like I was always bruised up. I always had like scarring and tears on my penis. I would always be completely dehydrated and out of it for days. The long encounters were usually the worst.
And there you have it, peoples. There you have it. He said it himself. You know, he was over there doing just what Diddy was doing and stuff, and that's why he had the baby oil. And so with all of the long encounters and stuff, people, he was hurting real bad. Yeah, you hurt real bad too. But taking ecstasy and things like that. Hello, Island girl. How are you? It's a blessing to see you on today. Island said, "You need a drink for this one." Well, hey, I need a triple shot because man, I'm still trying to process all of this. For what I just heard, I am literally trying to process this for what I just heard because now we got a greater understanding how it all happened. You know, the freak offs and everything, and all of the different days and all what they were doing and what the diddler itty bitty Diddy, and that's what I'm gonna call him, itty bitty Diddy, who couldn't tame Cassie's kitty. Yeah, thank you for the double shot, but add one more. I need a triple. I need a triple because I need to knock myself out. You know, I need to knock myself out on this one, boy. This is crazy. But see, Diddy did it. He did. He did it. You know. So I asked the question, did he do it? And the answer is yes, Diddy did it. Diddy did it. But I'm waiting. Thank you. So I got a triple. I got a triple shot of tequila, rum, Long Island iced tea. You know, got me a triple shot of that, boy. So now I am buzzing like a big dog. But people, so we're going to switch gears right now. We're going to switch gears because, you know, like I say, this is not all about Diddy on tonight. So we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about some different topics and things. And if you guys want to come up to the panel and talk with me, y'all more than welcome to do so and stuff. That will be helpful and things, you know, that way I ain't got to work so hard and all. But I just want to try to cover a lot of the things that was going on and out in the airwaves and whatnot. And I want to try to get a sense as to I want to try to get a sense as to that of what you guys, you know, are thinking, you know. That's what I want to try to get a sense of. I want to try to get a sense as to what you guys are thinking and things, and what you guys feel and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this later because that's like 4 minutes. So here, let me share this to my Facebook so I can call this up. Got to share this video to my Facebook. So what do you guys think about Jay-Z? What do you guys think about the situation that Jay-Z is in right now? And you know, because the courts had said that he's going to have to take the paternity test, and if he doesn't take the paternity test, well then, you know, he's screwed either way because then they're going to deem him as the father. And if he takes the paternity test, well, we already know that he's the father, and so that's just going to confirm everything that we know. So either way, he's screwed. Either way, he's screwed. So, you know, but see, the thing is, he brought that up on himself because had he kept himself, why do they keep logging me out of, wait a minute. Okay, there it is. So here, let me close this up. All right, let me shut that down. Let me call it this video, peoples. See, that is what Jay-Z get. That is what Jay-Z get, peoples. You know, it's what he get. And I don't feel bad for him and things and stuff because for the simple fact that it just makes Beyonce look stupid because he cheated on her right in front of her face. Do you understand what I'm saying? He cheated on her right in front of her face. And she still with him after he cheated. So she can do all of the little whatevers and stuff that she wants, try to come on stage and dress provocative and, you know, do all like this and the other. But see, Beyonce ain't got it going on either. For because if a man has to go outside of the relationship to get some kitty cat from another woman, well, you already know what that's saying about the woman. The woman, she can't, she ain't doing something right, or she don't have it. Now everybody think that Beyonce has a good body, and Jay Z he's blessed to be able to lay down with her and do all of this, that, and the other. But he ain't satisfied because he's a Papa was a Rolling Stone. He has been laying his hat, and he has been making his home, peoples, and he has been having a lot of kids. And so, see, this is going to be another Cassie thing, because once this boy is confirmed that he is the father, then all of these other people is going to come out. Island Girl said that he didn't want to take the test because at the time he got her pregnant, she was 16 and he was 20 something. She was only 16. She was 16, peoples. She was 16. Well, hey. She was 16 years old, and he was doing his due with her. Ain't that something, peoples? I don't know if they can prosecute him, Island. I don't know if they can prosecute him, after all of this time. I think there's a statute of limitations, that comes into play behind all of this stuff. So I don't know if they can prosecute him or not. But I know that they're going to tag his tail. And that boy, he's going to be rich in a couple of weeks. Because he's going to have to pay all of that back child support. And not only do he has to pay all of that back child support, but he is going to have to he's going to have to come off for damages and things for violating his rights and stuff. Hello, Jenna, to you, B. How are you, ma'am? It is a blessing to see you on tonight. Jenna to you had says, greetings, Edward and Island. If you guys want to come up to the panel and share your thoughts and views upon this, you're more than welcome. And things, share your thoughts and views upon what's going on, what what we're talking about and stuff. Like I said tonight, we're going to be just covering a whole host of different topics and things. It's not always going to be Diddy and Jay-Z and whatnot, but we're just going to be covering all of the hot topics that is out in the airwaves and stuff. But I want you guys to know Diddy did it. Diddy did it, And the man had even told you that Diddy couldn't even perform. He couldn't even perform. And so I just want you guys to know Diddy did it. Y'all asked if Diddy did it. Yeah, he did it. But now, did he rape her? No, I don't think so, because she never said that he raped her. He just said that he made her do it. But the guy is telling a different story, because see, there's always two sides to the story, peoples. The guy had literally said that Cassie was a freak, that Cassie had two hot dogs in her mouth, staring at and going after one after another and stuff. And so one could have choked her out, and one was just like a little lollipop, So the one that was choking her out was Punisher. And the other one was Lollipop. Twinkie Diddy. Itty bitty Diddy. Itty bitty Diddy, who couldn't even make Cassie's kitty happy. He couldn't make her happy, peoples. Cassie's kitty was crying. She was just winding up a storm. And so the Punisher came in and shut the cat up. You know, he went on. Hey, he took the cat by the tail and wham! Shut up! Wham! Shut up! Wham! Shut up! And then the moment he started to punish the cat got louder. You know how cats be screaming, ah, ah, ah. When the cat was screaming, the Punisher was punishing the cat. Oh my God, people's boy. That is crazy. So now Cassie had said herself that she laid down and they both stood up there and pissed on her and pissed all in her mouth, and she was about choking on it and stuff. You know, that's what she said in court. She said that they pissed on her and things. But that's what she said. That's what she liked. Now, he didn't go into great detail about the baby oil because I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the baby oil. He only mentioned the baby oil, but what was happening with the baby oil? He didn't really describe the scene and things. He was very graphic about the things that had happened.
The baby oil had a stack of cocaine in it.
The baby oil had what?
The baby oil had cocaine in each of it.
Oh, the baby. My son said the baby oil had cocaine in it. Okay, so then you got cocaine and all of these drugs in the baby oil. So then that probably would have enhanced the experience. You know, you're bathing it all in the baby oil and stuff. Wow, that's really something, you know. Yeah, it was something. They said that it was something that was in that baby oil too. I do remember the reports of that. So, but Isla Girl said the cat was horny, laughing out loud. Hey, it was more than horny. Shit. They went for 4 days straight, and he said that he had scrapes and cuts and stuff on his Twinkie. Island Girl said, no wonder they went crazy. Yeah, they was taking so much drugs and stuff. He said that they took a lot of drugs and ecstasy and stuff. So that's, man. See, I never taken drugs, so I don't know what the effects would be upon the body and what the effects would be upon the mind of a person and things. But it makes sense for what he had said, you know, because I was trying to figure out, well, shit, they went several days straight. But it wasn't like, you know, they were just going, you know, that long, all of that time for days on end. It was, you know, they rest up and then they do it again. Then they rest up and they do it again. Okay. So that makes sense. Because I can't see nobody just going, you know, forever and a day. Isla Girl had said crackhead going wild. Now, you know, you remember that. You remember that wait a minute. I just got breaking news on something. What it says. Jury awards sex trafficking survivor $40 million in verdict against Decatur Hotel. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna copy this as well. And I'm gonna play this back. I mean, this is a new case and things. I haven't heard anything about this, but I guess this is another thing that's going on. So, like I say, people, you know, we're going to be looking at a lot of different things and stuff on tonight. and stuff. So if you guys want to come on to the panel, y'all be my guest. Come on up and stuff. Hello, Brazy Certified World Media. How are you, my friend? It is a blessing to see you on tonight. Brazy Certified has said, he said they told the feds Cassie was with all of this, and he said they wasn't trying to hear it. So they was plotting on Diddy. Yep, they sure was. That's exactly what he said. I told you I'm only going to play what he said, and that's exactly what he said. And you heard from his own lips, peoples. They didn't want to hear what Cassie had to say. I mean, they didn't want to hear what he had to say. They wanted Cassie to try to describe something so heinous. You know, they tried to try to make something out of this, but it wasn't working. And see, the jury had already saw it, you know, in between all of this stuff. So it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So this is one of the reasons why Diddy got off and things and stuff, because of the simple fact that they couldn't prove rape. You know, they couldn't prove rape. They said that he said that we need to do it. But she never said that he forced her. It was just all a mental. Okay, well, I need you to do it. And then she did it. So he has power just to only speak about it, but didn't lay hands upon her to force her. It's a big difference, people. It is absolutely a big difference. You know, and I want you to understand that's why he didn't get prosecuted for rape, because he didn't rape her. Just like the man said, she was the one who had literally said that, okay, well, this is what I want. She called him up. I got some chicken in there. You're gonna fry the chicken, or you want me to fry it?
You could fry it.
All right. All right, people. So I got another video that I want to do. This just came on just now across the airwaves and stuff. This just happened just a couple of minutes ago. So I'm waiting for the other video to download. So let's take a look at this video, people. So I can share my screen on this one. So let me share my screen on this one. We're going to call this up. And let's take a look at this while the other one is trying to finish downloading. This just came on the airwaves just now. I don't want to share it like that. Let me share my screen a different way. So let me share my screen. Let me share that live. There it is right there. All right, let's listen to this, peoples.
And thank you for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Joe Ripley. For the first time ever, a civil lawsuit filed under a federal human trafficking law found its way into a jury's hands here in the U.S. And tonight, the jurors have spoken. The verdict held a DeKalb County motel accountable for the sex trafficking of a teen on its property night after night. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn joining us live now in Decatur outside that motel. So, Cody, this jury certainly made a statement with that verdict.
Joe, they did late this afternoon. The jury awarded the survivor $40 million. She was bought and sold for sex here behind me, as you mentioned, for more than a month every single day. And this jury believed that United Inn and Suites turned a blind eye. In court documents, she's only known as JG. At 16 years old, she was labeled a runaway, but she wasn't hiding. She was being sold in plain sight out of United Inn and Suites. A federal jury now holding its parent company, Northbrook Industries, accountable in a first-of-its-kind verdict under federal trafficking law.
At least 12 men every single day for 40 days going in and out of the room where JG was being trafficked.
While the defense tried to argue they're not liable, prosecutors presented evidence showing it was documented.
The lead vice A detective from DeKalb County testified that this is one of the top 5 known hotspots for commercial sex and trafficking in DeKalb County at that time.
Emma Hetherington, director of UGA's Wilbank Child Endangerment and Sexual Exploitation Clinic, sat through the federal trial.
Most survivors, when they've been surveyed about why they file these civil claims, the number one reason is not money. It's justice, it's healing, it's holding wrongdoers accountable.
The civil suit was filed under the Federal Trafficking Victims Protection and Reauthorization Act, or TVPRA.
To my knowledge, this is the first TVPRA civil claim that has made it all the way to a jury verdict in the country, not just in Georgia, which makes it very significant.
$40 million awarded to the survivor, but even more empowering than a secured financial future.
When you see survivor testimony in courtroom, it is a sense of empowerment and healing and justice just to be heard.
This case took 5 years to get into the courtroom. JG, now a young woman. This jury listened to her. They believed her, and they made sure what happened to her for those 40 days behind me is never going to be ignored. Live in Decatur, Cody Alcorn, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, momentous milestone, Cody. Thank you for your reporting tonight. All this does mark a big win for the survivor, and the attorneys who helped her voice be heard. We're still waiting to see if the defendants will appeal that jury's decision. United Inn & Suites is not the only hotel accused of allowing trafficking. In June of last year, Red Roof Inn Hotels reached an undisclosed settlement with 11 survivors. They say the chain turned a blind eye to the trafficking going on inside locations in Buckhead and Smyrna. Red Roof Inn denies all allegations.
Nicole's elegant.
And see, there you have it, peoples. You know, all of these people are literally being sex trafficked. So it ain't just Diddy, you know. It ain't just Diddy going ahead and, you know, calling up people from all across the land and things. You know, these people is being sex trafficked right in your backyard. Right in your backyard. Young people. 40 men. I mean, not 40 men, but 40 days, peoples. 40 days? Man. And that girl, you know, I don't know if they gave her ketamine and ecstasy and all like this and stuff, but I mean, shit. Is there any difference between her and Cassie? You know, because Cassie got 30 million. This girl got 40 million. But see, the thing is, with Cassie, she wanted it. With her, she never asked for it. She was forced. But Cassie wanted it. And so that's the difference, peoples. That's the difference, is what I'm trying to tell you. You know? And all of these men. And I wonder, why isn't it the people, the men, not prosecuted for the various things that they did? See, this is the thing that's happening in the Epstein trial, peoples. You know, because President T is a part of that. And so that's why he wants that to go away, you know, because Epstein was tried and convicted. Do you understand what I'm saying? They have the evidence, and they're trying to cover up from all of these elites and things. Do you understand what I'm saying? But this right here was a young buck who literally had taken it for 40 days. Forced to. She wasn't trafficked all over, you know, to have a freak off, and it wasn't her. It wasn't that she said that she wanted it. She was forced. So this was literally RAPE. Do you understand what I'm saying? RAPE. And that is what made the difference, peoples. That's what made the difference between Diddy's case and this of what we have just seen. And it shouldn't have never happened, peoples. But I'm glad that she got 40 million. I'm glad that she went on and got what she got because she deserved every last bit of it. And I hope that she's able. I hope that she's able to get her mind right and don't spend all of that money up on, whatever and stuff. But I mean, shit, 40 million, man, you taken care of for the rest of your life. And even if the people appeal, she's getting millions for her pain and suffering. And I don't know if you can really put a price up on it, peoples. See, the difference between Cassie and what we just heard is Cassie wanted it. Cassie called the man up herself and arranged all of this day in and day out, day in and day out. And she used her man's money so she can get satisfied. But this person didn't ask to. She was forced to. And this is what this young lady had said, peoples. This is what this young lady had said, peoples. Let's listen in.
I might just flash out on my pappy for that whole shit that he did. How you fucking on my mama, but couldn't take care of your kids? What's the point of calling you daddy when you never was a father? And what's the point of reaching out when a nigga ain't ever even bothered? So what's the point of me talking? I picked the same kind of BD. What's the point of him being 32, fucking me at 17? What's the point of being sad? They just gon' label you as fast, cause you know dope boys not pedophiles long as they get in the bag. So what's the point of being mad? You better off not giving a fuck. They be screaming they hate P. Diddy, but still love they uncles. What's the point of keeping secret if he a threat to all the nieces? And why y'all hurting all the angels so you can protect all the demons?
And so they talk about Diddy. They talk about Diddy, peoples. But look at this fella right here. I said they talk about Diddy, but look at this fella right here. This is a crying shame, people, for what this man did. This man denied this boy the right to know if he is his father. And knowing he is. And see, the thing is, she was nothing but 1/6, peoples. When he had an encounter with her. Now, she doesn't look like Beyonce. She doesn't look like Kathy White. She doesn't look like Rihanna. She doesn't look like what's that other girl's name? The Jazzy or whoever the girl is and stuff. She doesn't look like all of the other women that he has been with. I'm talking about the mother of this boy right here. He fought for years, peoples. He literally fought for years just to get a paternity test so he can get a greater understanding whether or not if he is his father. And he know that he is his father, because if you look at the lips, peoples, the lips tells it all. Look at the lips. Look at the bottom lip and how it's all glossy. I mean, it is the same type of lips. And although Jay-Z head is rounded and stuff, the most distinctive feature upon this is that he has those same lips and he has those eyes. And then he has the puffiness under his eyes. Although, his head is shaped a different way. But this is Jay-Z's child, peoples. I mean, you can clearly see it. Look at the ears. I mean, that's him all of the way. All the way, peoples. All the way. And so Jay-Z has literally been a major freak. Major freak. Jenna to you said she was the home girl from where he grew up at. And from what I hear, peoples, he loved her dearly. Yes, he did. He loved her dearly. And so, peoples, let me go ahead and let me share this video and stuff. This should give me a little enough time to go ahead and cook some chicken for my son, because he's a little hungry. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that play, and I'll be here. I'll be watching, but I'll be cooking as well. So let's look in and see what's going on with this particular video, peoples. Is that all right, peoples? I'm telling you, it's over for Jay-Z. Come the 16th or 17th of this month, when he has to give his DNA, and it's going to be proven that he is this young man's father. I'm telling you, all hell is about to break loose, peoples. All hell. But shout out to let me go. Shout out to the young lady who is this live. Shout out to her. I'll call out her name in a minute. But let's go, peoples.
Finally getting under Jay-Z's skin, y'all. And this is a doozy right here. Word on the street is this is just the least of his problems, y'all. Word on the street is Jay-Z, if he does not do the DNA test, they're saying by the 18th, legally, the court will presume him to be the father. Y'all, stay tuned, stay tuned. Hello and welcome to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you to my day ones, twos, and threes. Thank you to all my new subscribers that's coming in. That means well. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. And welcome, welcome, welcome. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So everything is alleged. Some is not. And the Fair Act use is in my description box, y'all. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. Y'all, it's a lot of stuff coming out about this stuff. And word on the street is, I finally heard some more details about the pow of his son's car. Okay, they said that his car didn't get hit up until the feds took over the case. And they started getting involved. Jay-Z could go to jail, y'all. Jay-Z could possibly go to jail over this whole situation, y'all. Not just the fact that the alleged mother, okay, during the time that the Mingle Tingle session took place, was 1 to the 5, okay, y'all. Not just for that, but for what they did to his son on so many levels. Y'all, word on the street is 6 judges could be charged with a cover-up right now. His alleged son, Ramir, has went through 6 judges that has threw this out because of Jay-Z's fame and fortune, y'all. So I told y'all, before this is over with, Ramir is going to be rich, y'all. He's going to be rich. He got a lawsuit against Jay-Z. He has lawsuits against the judges. The lawyer, he had a lawyer that Jay-Z's team allegedly, I wasn't there, so I'm just telling y'all what I heard. But he has a lawyer, y'all, that flipped to Jay-Z and them side. So everybody was working against him because of Jay-Z's power and money. Okay, y'all? This is crazy. And once the feds picked this up, this is when the pow took place. And word on the street, it took place in a parking lot, y'all. He was out there with other people. Other people's cars was outside, and his car was the only one that got powed up, yo. I am scared for his life right now, to be honest with y'all. I am really scared for Ramir's life right now. Because this bullying has been going on for a long time, y'all. And instead of Jay-Z trying to, clear this stuff up and do right by, this situation, he's making things worse for himself, y'all. I just have to keep saying this. When Jaguar Wright said that he was worse than P. Diddy, he really is, because He got some screws missing. Even though Puffy was out here doing the things he was doing, he was trying to, have a scapegoat. Okay, y'all? He was trying to have a scapegoat. He was trying to do things so that it wouldn't come back to him. Even with the females that he was mingling and tingling and taking the mingle tingle with other people, this and that and this. He got the females, okay, P. Diddy, to make the phone calls, to set up the stuff, to pay the people. He did this. Jay-Z, on the other hand, is very sloppy, y'all, with what he's doing. And it's obvious, y'all. This is my personal opinion. But it's obvious that, he used his power by any means necessary to shut this person up. And I don't understand this, y'all. If this is his son, y'all, this is a part of his legacy. This is your BLOD. Why in the world would you be fighting so hard against them? Like, this is crazy, y'all. I have never heard nothing like this in my life. You try to set him up to go to jail. That didn't work. You got caught up. Then you turn around and have somebody to pow his car up. Oh my goodness, y'all. A lot of people was coming to me and they were asking me, or they were saying, basically, about the DNA. They worried that the DNA test was gonna get, messed with or whatever. Y'all, I don't think that DNA gonna get messed up when they finally do the test, if he allowed them to do it. And I'm gonna tell y'all why he is fighting so hard to not get this DNA test done. Lord have mercy. Word on the street is, and this is allegedly, but this is what's out in the street. So I'm gonna say, I wasn't there, I don't know, but word on the street is, y'all, and there are over 5 other kids out there with the same DNA as Jay-Z right now. Everybody is thinking, oh, this is just about the female because she wasn't of age and this and that and this, when he messed with her and got, her priggers, okay? It ain't just about that, y'all. If the feds get their hand on Jay-Z's DNA, other people is about to come forth, y'all. Other people are about to come forth, okay? This is what they are saying. This is crazy. This is correct. Y'all, Shitaka about to hit the fan. You mean to tell me the man that everybody been putting on this pedestal, on this serious pedestal, and acting as if Jay-Z, had his first kids with Beyonce and this and that, this. This guy, they are saying, got about 7 kids. Lord have mercy. When I tell y'all Shitaka about to hit the fan, it's about to hit the fan. Now, one baby mama, alleged baby mama, whom even Wendy Williams aired out, is free from 106 in Park. They're saying that she is denying it because she got paid off to, disappear. Okay? She's, well taken care of, allegedly. And she don't mind, playing a game with Jay-Z to not come forward. Okay? Allegedly, he has another daughter. An older daughter that he takes care of. But before he started taking care of her, he was denying her too. He's still somewhat denying her because he is not, letting the public know that she's his daughter, allegedly. Okay, y'all? But word on the street is he didn't show up to court when he had to go to court for her either. And this post was put up. Y'all, this is crazy. Jay-Z's first daughter and your favorite rapper refused to show up to district court. Laughable. She looks just like him, y'all. I think her name is Lanisha or something like that. She looks just... Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Jay-Z in some serious trouble, y'all. He's in trouble, and he's about to be a serious embarrassment for Beyonce, y'all. Beyonce ain't gonna know what to do out here. No wonder she out here just all over the place, don't know what to do because it's so much stuff coming their way that it doesn't make any sense, y'all. It doesn't make any sense. All the stuff that's coming their way right now. 7 outside, and they said that the other 5 don't have nothing to do with this one and the female. It's 5 others, and they said that he has paid them quietly to be quiet. Now, 9 times out of 10, he giving them some crumbs because that older daughter, he bought her a little house, he give her a little money, and she's off the radar. She does not work or anything like that. You know, he takes care of her, but she lives, you know, a very like mediocre life. She's not, you know what I'm saying? She's not balling out of control or anything like that. But he takes care of her. He takes care of her. Y'all, I thought it was just about Ramir's mother. It's not. Jay-Z do not want his DNA out here because there are others that's going to come forward. Y'all, this is what I'm hearing right now. They going to be coming in by the boatloads, word on the street. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. And the thing about this is there's no more running. Okay, there's no more running. Word on the street is allegedly Jay-Z has tampered with DNA tests before. So this is something that they're already going to look out for. Word on the street. Now, this is what his son said. His son said that Ramir was in contact with this female right here. And since Jay-Z wouldn't give him a DNA, he did a DNA with her. This is what I'm hearing, y'all. And this was out there for a long time, okay? He did a DNA with Jay-Z's alleged other daughter. And he sent off to do he did the DNA, you know, that home test or whatever. He sent off to get the DNA test or whatever, that they mailed the results to your house. He said the DNA test never came back. And when he tried to reach out to the daughter again, he couldn't get in contact with her. So Jay-Z pulled her back from even doing his DNA. I guess he got in her tail, y'all, about even, you know, trying to do this DNA on the side with him. This is her brother, allegedly. And Jay-Z got her to stop talking to Ramir. And the DNA test never showed, the results never showed back up. He never received them. So this is another thing that he possibly got a lawsuit against because the DNA people decided that they would not even send him the results, y'all. Word on the street. So this is about to get ugly, y'all, real fast. Jay-Z has used his legal team over and over and over and over again to commit fraud. Basically, y'all. And the judge has put his foot down now. He said, you're going to either do this DNA test by the 18th or legally by law, Ramir will be presumed to be his son anyway, even without the DNA, if he does not respond, y'all. So Jay-Z don't have a choice right now. It's either don't respond, and this one is your son by law. Okay? Automatically. Or give up the DNA and others come forward too. And I'm going to say this. If that happens, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Those other people, other 5 kids that's out there, they can do a DNA with Ramir. And if that matches, they still can come after Jay-Z. Oh my God. Why get yourself in this type of trouble? Why? This is why and they said it's been over 10 years. It's been like 14 years that Ramir has been trying to get this DNA, and he has been dodging and dodging and dodging, paying people off and this and that and that and this, y'all. I didn't even know that Jay-Z had came to the hospital, allegedly. This is what the word on the street is. That Jay-Z came to the hospital when his mother was sick in the hospital. Ramir's mother was sick in the hospital. She had like heart failure or something like that. She passed away from. May she rest in peace. But y'all, they're saying that Jay-Z's illegal team and stuff came up there to the hospital while she was in hospital. So he was keeping eyes on her. And then now there's rumors that allegedly her mother passed away too. That's what I'm hearing, y'all. Y'all. And y'all wonder why the feds is investigating this whole situation right now? His soon as the feds took over this case, Ramir's car get pow up. Like, I am fed up with you. This is the last time I'm gonna deal with you. So no wonder why people are going through extremes now to shut this down. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy on so many levels. I don't even, y'all, this is correct. You would be willing, and this is, the world is talking about this now, y'all. Everybody is reporting this. You would be willing, you gotta be a dirty mother hubbard, y'all, to be willing to take your son out just so you won't face your past and what you have done with not just him allegedly and his mama, but other baby mamas out there. And word on the street is some of those 5 baby mamas that he didn't hushed up allegedly. These babies were allegedly conceived after he married Beyonce. So he got some before he married Beyonce, and allegedly, y'all, because I wasn't there, I didn't know, I don't know, but this is what everybody is talking about right now. Okay? So I'm gonna say allegedly all day long. He got more. He got more, y'all. Beyonce is the laughing stock of the world right now, y'all. He is making a complete fool out of Beyonce. And it is what it is, y'all. This is sad. But I'm so happy that Ramir is getting some justice finally. And y'all, prayers up for Ramir that he stay safe. You know, pray that, you know, God continue to protect him. Because he needed it. And people were asking him in one of the interviews, is he afraid for his life? And he said it scared him when his car got hit up. But he's saying that he's not afraid. Okay? But you should be very cautious. Even if you're not afraid, be very cautious. And if you ask me, the feds should put Ramir up somewhere to get him away from Jay-Z at this point. Because not only is Ramir speaking out about this, but his godmother, since his real mother passed away, has been pushing full force to help him. So I feel like her life is in danger too, y'all. So prayers up for the both of them, and hopefully, you know, they make it to the 18th, because right now Jay-Z is woo, word on the street, he's peed off. He's peed off. He is now calling their house. His lawyer, rather, is calling their house, asking them to give him more time. This is what he's doing. How do you allegedly plant something in a car, then allegedly his son mysteriously car get hit up, and now you're calling, you got people, lawyers calling their house like nonchalant, like you ain't done nothing? Y'all, I can't believe what I am hearing, but y'all stay tuned, because the 18th, it's going to go down. If he don't do this test, automatically the feds is going to presume him legally as Ramir's father. Y'all, stay tuned. 18th, we're going to be celebrating with Ramir that he's finally getting somewhere. Okay, y'all? And it ain't no, a lot of people worried, is this DNA going to get messed with and this and that and that and this? I doubt it. I doubt it this time, because they already know what he's capable of. Those first DNA tests got messed up. They never showed back up. The results never came. That's not a coincidence, y'all. It's not a coincidence. And when them other baby mamas, alleged baby mamas, okay, see that Ramir is about to be swimming in dough in a minute, okay, from all of these years of just trying to get answers. Everything that he has went through, he's about to get paid from these judges, lawyers, DNA tests that he never received when he sent off with his sister, his alleged sister. Okay, this guy gonna be swimming in money. And like I said before, if I was him, I wouldn't even want a relationship. If he called him and be like, "Look, I'm sorry, for what I did. I'm married to Beyonce. I didn't want this, da 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 da." I hope that Ramir does not fall for the okie doke and stay away from this man, because I'm telling you, this is dangerous. I never heard of anything like this in my life, and I'm wondering now, is what they call it, where he works for, the sports, people that he controls, the halftime show and all of this stuff. I wonder if they can continue to support Jay-Z after all of this stuff comes out. The 18th, we gonna know something. And if this comes out, I'm wondering, is Sugarcook gonna hit the fan? And I mean hit the fan with his jobs and being able to control the halftime shows and all of this other stuff. I wonder, is they gonna fire him for this? Because this is huge, y'all. This is fraud on so many levels. He had judges committing fraud toward Ramir. They were breaking the laws every which way they could. And he's walking around here with Rumi and Blue Ivy as if, oh, this is my golden child and all of this stuff. And children, and forget the rest. Forget the rest of them. I could care less about the rest of them. This is the attitude that he has. What type of person does stuff like that? I know there's a lot of fathers out here that, ain't worth, I'm just saying, ain't worth nothing. Okay? It's some that don't do anything, but some still claim them, even though they don't do anything for them, but they don't just run around and just act like they ain't theirs. They just don't do nothing for them. But they still be like, oh, I got a son or I got a daughter, even though they still don't do nothing for them. And even though there are people out here that don't claim, why would you want to take them out? Now, I have heard news reports of, married men or something like that having side babies, and they'll take out, you know what I'm saying? They'll take out the side chick and the baby. But they in jail, y'all. They in jail. Some have tried to take out the side chicks and babies. And they in jail too. So why is it any different when, allegedly, a rich person does it? I'm just asking y'all. Why should there be a cover-up? Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be able to possibly, fight the allegations about the car getting hit up. But the timing, y'all, the timing. He's not a street associate. He's not out here doing nothing to nobody. He's living his life the best he can and not doing nothing to nobody. Why, right after the feds take over the case, why did his car get hit up? And it's crazy that he's playing with the feds like this. Because I'm going to tell y'all this. The fact that the feds picked up this case, you would think that Jay-Z would have been like, y'all back up off of him. If you had somebody following Ramir around or whatever, you would have think Jay-Z would have made that call to, his little minions and said, just leave him alone because the feds is watching, da. But no, allegedly, things go full force. And this is crazy, y'all. This is so crazy on so many levels that he think that he can do these type of things and get away with it, allegedly, and get away with it. This puzzles me right here, y'all. This really makes me think that Jay-Z don't have enough sense to throw. If you shake him, it's going to be rattling in that head of his. Because this makes things so much worse. And this is just the beginning. What is going to happen when this 18th hit, y'all? And either he give up the DNA and everybody else start coming forward saying, he that baby's my baby's pappy too, my baby's pappy too, my baby's pappy too. Or if he dodged this and this still opens up a can of worms for him because they're saying that by law, he can go to jail now. Because the mother was 1 to the 5 and she didn't have the baby until she was 1 to the 6. Oh my goodness, y'all. Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Word on the street is this is going to prove a pattern. This is going to prove a pattern. And even if he take it or not, y'all, this is some serious karma right here. If he take it, he darned if he do and darned if he don't. If he don't take it, he's still legally going to be pursuing his son by law. And he can go full force against Jay-Z and whoever else that stopped him from getting this test for 14 years. And if he is presumed Jay-Z's son, everybody else can match their DNA with him to prove if they have a match too. And if they match too with Ramir, they can come after Jay-Z as well. Y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. This is getting juicy, y'all. Anyway, y'all, like I said, Jay-Z is innocent until proven. But the way he moving, it looks guilty to me, y'all. And that's my personal opinion. Okay, y'all? Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe if you liked the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the cash apps that I've been receiving. And y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do if you want to support the channel. Okay, y'all? Peace.
All right, peoples. For all of those who thought that Diddy wasn't coming home, well, Diddy is coming home. you know, Diddy is coming home, y'all. So it really doesn't matter what you guys say. Diddy is coming home. Home to where the buffaloes roam. Let me share my screen, peoples.
Welcome back. Sean Diddy Combs will be back in court today for a post-trial hearing. The court is formulating a sentencing schedule that's supposed to happen in October. The hearing comes less than a week after Combs was convicted of 2 of the 5 criminal charges in his sex trafficking and racketeering case. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman has been following every piece of this and joins us now from outside the courthouse, where I think you live by now. You must know everybody's names. You know all the kind of the crews there back with you. You're a little family. So Katrina, what's supposed to happen today? We know that from Diddy's lawyers, they said that he was greeted with cheers back in the detention center after the verdict. So what business needs to be done in the courtroom today?
Yeah, that's all true, Errol. Today, what's happening is that Sean Combs' team says they want this sentencing to happen as soon as possible. Last week, the judge had tentatively set it for October. They want it much sooner. Last week, Sean Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, was even saying that he'd be willing to waive the ordinary probation report. The judge didn't want to do this, though, Errol. He said the parties here are just too far apart in their viewpoints about this sentencing. The maximum here is 20 years, although last week the prosecution, after doing some calculations, was then estimating more like at least 5 or 6 years. The defense was projecting more like 2 years. So there's just a really big divide here. It's also important to note that Combs has already been detained for 10 months now. So that will count towards whatever his sentence is. And his defense team says they just feel that they have strong arguments for a short sentence. They want this as soon as possible. It's also worth noting that you can't appeal until after your sentencing. So that could be on their minds as well.
And if we remember, the judge denied bail for Combs, I think because of some of the allegations made in court. Clarify for us why that was, and how likely is it that he walks free soon?
So, Errol, what the judge said here is that one of the factors he takes into account is whether the defendant poses a danger or a threat. And there were also 2 letters submitted in addition to what the prosecution submitted to the judge, one from Cassie Ventura, that's Sean Combs' ex-girlfriend, a key witness in this trial, and she was tied to some of those charges against him. And another from Deontay Nash, another witness, a friend of Cassie. He had worked with Combs, both witnessed and experienced his violence. And they both said that they felt unsafe with Sean Combs being released. They think he poses a danger to the victims, to the witnesses in this case. Deontay Nash said that he feared retaliation. And what the judge ultimately said is that the defense, his whole defense was this was domestic violence. Sean Combs' actions, they never denied his violence. And as a result, it's just impossible for them to say that Sean Combs does not pose any danger if he's released. And on that basis, he is keeping him detained for now.
Yeah, serious accusations and Sean Combs' defense all around. Katrina Kaufman, across all of it for us. Thank you very much.
So, peoples, we're going to go and we're going to see what TMZ had to say. So let me share my screen, peoples. Island Girl said that the boy got way too many kids. Way too many, but let's see what TMZ had to say, peoples, because they all the time know so much, right? Let's see.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So now that people have had time to process it, I got to say, such a spectacular loss on the part of prosecutors in the Diddy case. Getting convicted of the Mann Act, he is going to get out within a year. I mean, based on based on sentencing guidelines, prosecutors are asking for a little more than 4.
Right.
And he's already served nearly a year. He's not going to get 4. He's going to get less than that. He could easily get 2 under the sentencing guidelines, and he's already served 1, plus there's credit that he's going to get. Diddy will get out, but when he got back to prison, it was raucous.
On Wednesday night when he walked in after, like you said, certainly he views it as a victory. The other inmates gave him a standing ovation.
He beat the feds.
Because he beat the feds. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said that he got basically a hero's welcome because they don't, the way the other inmates see it, they don't, this is such a rarity that someone beats the government.
Very rare. I mean, the government has such, when you look at the resources in Diddy, to get 70 Homeland Security agents to raid 2 houses, to spend the time to put 6 prosecutors on this, and all that they did, it is hard to beat that. And he had the money to hire a legal team that kicked their ass. I mean, they just did.
That's why part of the reaction of the other inmates sort of surprised me, because you could see it cutting the other way, that they'd be resentful that a guy with lots of money and power was able to beat the feds while maybe some of the people in prison didn't have those resources. But it cut the other way. They just want to see the government beaten, and there's a real camaraderie in prison. And he apparently came in and was feted like a hero, a returning hero, after being told he had to go back and sit in the facility and not be released on bond, which I think was a bit of a stomach punch to Diddy. There's some of the sketches show he was quite upset with that ruling, but it must be nice to come home.
You know, I did some recon on this, and I was actually wrong on this because I thought he would get out, but they knew he wasn't, and they were
Mhm.
prepared for it because they conceded domestic violence
Right.
in
They
open
said it
court.
themselves, yeah.
So they kind of knew that he was going to stay in until sentencing. Nonetheless, now there's been a shoe that's been put
Yes.
on another foot.
Right. The immediate aftermath of the trial for Diddy was getting that applause in prison. For Cassie, it was getting hit with a lawsuit that was filed by a man named Clayton Howard. He's one of the male escorts that had freak-offs with Cassie and Diddy. During the trial, he was referred to as Dave, but he says that not only did Diddy control him, but Cassie controlled him. So you have now Diddy and Cassie as co-defendants in this lawsuit that accuses her. Clayton claims that she got pregnant and had it with his child and had an abortion without telling him. Also that he got an STI from her. And he said all along, people during this trial, you had Cassie as the victim. She was victim one, but his experience, he says, is that she was very much in control. This is what he had to say about why he didn't file this lawsuit sooner.
One, I was in an economic position where I really needed the money. Two, Mr. Combs is incredibly powerful, and Ms. Ventura had no problem ending her use of that power. There's a side of her that people don't know, the side that manipulated Sean Combs' power, the side that embraced his power and his position to do things that she wanted. So I was always afraid if I stopped coming, then I would start to have problems, because she threatened me several times to come and made me feel uncomfortable that I would come to see her just to avoid any problem with Sean Combs.
So, what's interesting about this, we spoke to one of the alternate jurors over the weekend, and he was saying, look, that he felt, and it sounds like the rest of the jury did too, that it wasn't so much a victim, although a lot of people on the outside say it was, as somebody who was consenting and was getting something out of the relationship. He's kind of echoing that in a way.
Yeah, that is certainly what Clayton was saying, that what she got out of it was power. And he said that he actually did want to file this lawsuit. He didn't want to wait until the trial was over. He wanted to file it before. He claims his attorney basically was in cahoots with the prosecutors and didn't want to make Cassie look bad. And that's why Clayton filed this lawsuit himself. He didn't file it with an attorney. So
it's a little bit strange that his attorney would not want to sully Cassie's reputation if he ends up suing Cassie. What is interesting to me about this is we did see glimmers of another side of Cassie during the criminal trial. Remember, there was an audio recording of her threatening another one of these alleged sex workers, and that showed a different perspective on who she was during this 11-year relationship, sometimes consenting, maybe sometimes even embracing the power that Diddy had. So I'm not sure you can discard what Clayton is saying in this lawsuit out of hand, but I think both things can be true. She could have been a victim in some respects and a perpetrator in others, potentially.
This is Mackenzie from Bucks County. I think as an attorney, this case with Mr. Howard is not going to get far with Cassie as a co-defendant, in my opinion. This escort claiming that Cassie has a different side to her, that embraced the freak-offs and was trying to manipulate Diddy and Mr. Howard after we all just saw her testimony that she was also being used and manipulated and heavily into drugs at this point in her life, makes the accusation very misguided. Bottom line is that she is not the person who started the freak off, so I would be willing to bet that he's not going to be awarded any monetary damages from her in this suit if it even moves forward at all.
I will say the way you're putting it is what a lot of people said before we heard the jury speak. The jury is not embracing what you just said. They didn't embrace what you just said, that she was a victim.
At a civil trial, it's going to be up to the jury, or I'm sorry, it's going to be up to the judge to look at all the facts of the case. And the facts of the case are simply that Cassie was not the initiator of all of this.
Yeah, not the initiator, but what
But I think Clayton may suffer the same thing that Cassie did, in that if this actually goes to trial, that they're going to say, look, you were along with this, you were getting paid,
exactly.
You were getting paid very well, so
you weren't being manipulated or forced into doing anything.
Right. So he may suffer the same fate that Cassie did.
I think he will.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Hey guys, how to easily recover lost files from an SD card. We'll teach you how to recover files.
Well, see, people's, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I get it. TMZ is entitled to their own opinion and things, and what they say is not law. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what I am saying is simply this: is that hey, at the end of the day, he brought the lawsuit, and he feels that he was a victim. And I don't see no difference between him and Cassie. I mean, he feels that he's a victim and she feels that she's a victim. And so I don't understand why it's got to be a double standard in things behind it. Let that man go. Let that man get home to his children. He has a child. Do you understand what I'm saying? Diddy has a child. Now the prosecutor has done their thing, and then they was deemed that they couldn't prove the case, and that's what it is. People's they couldn't prove the case. So with that being said, how could you get mad at him? Now I hear all of this stuff about Diddy and Diddy this and Diddy that and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I got to be fair to Diddy too, because even though he's been accused of a lot of things, people's, the bottom line is you have to prove it. You have to prove it. And if you can't prove it, people's, well then, if you can't prove it, then what? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, people. You have to prove it. But we're going to take a look at something different in things, because the bottom line is that here's some proof right here that something happened to another person. But then again, why wasn't he accused of any of this? See, this it's just crazy to me, people. The more that I look at Diddy and things, the more that I hear all of this stuff. But then again, I have to continue to keep reverting back to the part to where they can't prove the case. You got to prove that the man did something before you can even say something. You can say that the man is guilty, the man did this, the man did that, but then the question is, and this is why I asked, did he do it? Did Diddy do it? Did Diddy do all of these things that the people say he did? Well, I mean, it's not up for me to decide, people. It's up for you to decide. But did he do it? Because I hear Diddy killed Tupac and Diddy killed Biggie Smalls and Diddy did this and Diddy did that, but he's never been charged, peoples. He's never been charged. And that's the point that I want to make to the people. Did he do it? You can sit here and you can prosecute this man as much as you want, but at the end of the day, peoples, did he do it? Did he do it? In some instances he did do it, but in other instances you can't prove it. You can't prove it. So my thing is, why do you continue to keep browbeating this man when you can't even prove the various things that you're saying? I get tired of listening to the people. Oh, well, Diddy did this, Diddy did that, and so on and so forth. But then, what I say? Where is the proof to your truth? Where is it? The people can't show it. People can't show it. And so then people tend to get mad at me because I'm taking a side that I am. No, I'm not taking no side. I'm just saying, peoples, if you're going to persecute someone, at least come with some facts. Do you understand what I'm saying, peoples? Come with something that the people can be able to hang their hat upon. Don't just come with this nonsense. Oh, well, this is what they said. And so he's got to be guilty because of what they said. No, people, that doesn't work for me. I want to see something substantial, something tangible. Don't tell me all of this madness if you can't even prove that Diddy did it.
My father, it all started with him.
Clive Davis put Sean Combs in position. That's what Clive Davis does.
I wish that I had somebody that came in straight, right after I won, that was like my manager now. Somebody who truly cared for me as a person before the music and all of that stuff.
What they did to Fantasia Barrino is just heartbreaking, but it's taken 20 years for the full truth to come out. At 19, she was America's sweetheart, the single mother from North Carolina who couldn't read her own contracts but could move a nation to tears with her voice. By 26, she was planning her own funeral.
A lot of times when you come into this industry, you have people who say they're there for you, but a lot of times they're just there to get what they can get, or because money is involved.
The same industry that built her up had systematically torn her down.
They don't think long run, they don't think future, it's just about right now.
This wasn't just about bad business deals or creative differences. This was about two powerful men, Clive Davis and Sean Diddy Combs, who treated young black women like products on an assembly line. Use them, control them, replace them when they break.
So Dawn finished her testimony today. She claims at one point that Diddy had hit Cassie with a skillet and said, quote, he said you could go missing, that we could die.
So how did they almost destroy one of the most powerful voices of our generation? And why is she only now free to tell the truth? Fantasia Barrino had the kind of Cinderella story that America loves. A single mother from North Carolina who dropped out of high school, survived assault, and stunned the nation with her voice on American Idol.
Going to Hollywood. You're going to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
At 19, she was a star. But behind that victory was a system she didn't understand, and no one warned her what was coming. What they didn't tell her was that American Idol was just the beginning of her problems, not the end. The show had a pipeline. Winners got funneled directly to major labels, and Fantasia landed at J Records under Clive Davis. But there was no orientation, no handbook, no one to explain that winning a singing competition and surviving the music industry were two completely different battles. And when asked about how he prepares young artists for fame, Clive gave an answer that now feels cold. I don't get involved in their personal lives. That silence, it cost lives. Fantasia later said she didn't have a team that cared about her, only what she could earn. I wish someone had told me, don't buy that car, check your accountant, watch your money, she said. Everybody had their own self-interest. She was a teenager thrown into an adult industry. And second in that system, being mentored by Clive Davis, was Diddy, a man now accused in federal court of intimidation and worse. For context, former Danity Kane singer Dawn Richard delivered a chilling testimony alleging that Sean Diddy Combs once issued a disturbing warning about the consequences of disobedience. Richard, who rose to fame under Combs' Bad Boy Records imprint during the early 2000s, recalled being told by the music mogul that people could go missing for going against his wishes or failing to follow his orders. On Friday, May 16th, Richard testified that she interpreted the comment as a threat of deadly consequences and that people could die for disappointing or angering Combs. Now, Clive and Diddy were the architects. Fantasia was just one of the voices chewed up by their machine.
A lot of artists that you see, they look like they have it. And we smile and we come out and we put on a good show. But in real life, some of them are struggling and we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice.
It wasn't just financial ruin. Fantasia said she felt abandoned. Everybody who started with me, they were gone. Nobody helped me clean it up. I had to do it by myself, she said. That loneliness, that isolation, it mirrors the stories we've heard about other artists in Clive Davis's orbit. Artists who died broke, addicted, alone. And now, with Diddy's name tied to federal courtrooms and his connections to Clive Davis resurfacing, Fantasia's darkest moment is being reevaluated. Was she just another casualty of the industry? Or was she one of the lucky few who lived to tell the truth? Fantasia wasn't just young when she got famous. She was unprotected. At 19, she had no industry mentor, no financial guidance, no one to explain the contracts she was signing or the people she was trusting.
You win, you got endorsement deals coming, you're on tour. There's so many different money coming in from every different what you raise. So you being 19, you're on the road. They bring somebody and say, okay, this is such and such, nice to meet you. They're gonna be your accountant, and this is, you know what I mean? It's like a fast, everything is so fast.
And everybody has.
But the predators knew exactly who she was. They could smell vulnerability from miles away. Shortly after American Idol, the lawsuit started. Her own father sued her for defamation over her memoir. Her own father. The man who should have been protecting her was instead trying to profit off her pain in court. Then came the label Politics. J Records pushed out her first album, Free Yourself, and it did well. Platinum sales, Grammy nominations. But success in the music industry is a double-edged sword. The better you do, the more people want a piece of you. Her second album flopped, not because she couldn't sing, but because the industry had already moved on to the next big thing. Suddenly, the same executives who were taking credit for her success started distancing themselves from her brand challenges. The money disappeared. Not just once, but twice. That's not bad luck. That's systematic theft. But it went deeper than finances. The industry began rewriting her story. They wanted her to be grateful, not honest. They wanted her to talk about her journey without mentioning the essay. They wanted her to celebrate her success without acknowledging the illiteracy that made her vulnerable to exploitation. When she refused to sanitize her truth, they found other ways to control her. Radio stations were told her songs were too gospel for R&B. Music videos were shelved for being too real. Interview requests dried up because she wouldn't stick to the approved talking points. The message was clear: play the game or be replaced. And when you're a young black woman in an industry run by older white men, replacement is always an option. That's when the real psychological warfare began. They didn't just want her music, they wanted her soul. And they were willing to break her to get it. When Fantasia took on the role of C. Lee in The Color Purple, she wasn't acting. She was reliving her own trauma. For context, C. Lee is a character who's abused by her father, abused, silenced, and discarded. And when Fantasia took that role again for the 2023 film adaptation, she almost said no.
Her walk is not an easy walk.
No.
And she carries a lot. She carries everybody. And at the time when I was doing Broadway, I was carrying everybody. And my life was so much like Celie's.
That wasn't an exaggeration. When she played C. Lee in 2007 on Broadway, she said she carried the pain home every night. Nobody taught her how to come out of character, except for Taraji P. Henson. She wasn't just carrying a role. She was carrying years of unresolved trauma, industry manipulation, and personal loss. And the more you look at it, the more it mirrors what happened to Whitney Houston. Both women had gospel roots. Both were pushed into superstardom young. Both were linked to Clive Davis. Both spiraled under pressure. One didn't survive. So when Fantasia says everybody who started with me is gone, that's not metaphor, that's reality. She was one of the only ones left standing. And with Diddy now facing court proceedings, connected to people like Clive, to artists who died young, to women who vanished from the spotlight or worse, it raises the most painful question of all. How many more were silenced before they could tell their story? When Fantasia walked into J Records after her American Idol victory, she thought she was walking into freedom. Instead, she was walking into Clive Davis's assembly line. Clive had a formula. Take raw talent, polish it, package it, sell it. She was a single black mother from North Carolina who sang gospel in church and lived through poverty, abuse, and illiteracy. That wasn't the story Clive wanted to sell. There were things they wanted me to do, and I wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to fake anything. From day one, they tried to reshape her sound, her image, her story. They wanted club hits, not church hymns. They wanted glamour, not authenticity. They wanted a product, not a person. But Fantasia fought back. She was raw, emotional, spiritual. Everything the industry wasn't ready for. And when she refused to fit their mold, that's when the support started disappearing. The same man who built careers was now systematically dismantling hers. Not because she couldn't sing, not because she couldn't sell records, but because she wouldn't become someone else. On August 9th, 2010, Fantasia Barrino made headlines for all the wrong reasons. But what the headlines didn't capture, what they couldn't capture, was the quiet storm that had been building inside her for years. The label executives were gone. The managers were silent. The cameras were off. All that was left was a woman sitting in a closet with a bottle of sleeping pills and a bottle of Bayer, staring at her own reflection. I didn't care if I woke up, she said. I just wanted to go to sleep. And if I didn't wake up, I was okay with that. 3 days before that, Fantasia had locked herself in a guest room. She wasn't eating. She wasn't talking. She was shutting down, and nobody noticed. Not her family, not her team, not the people who had stood next to her on red carpets or collected checks from her tours. At the time, she was being publicly dragged for allegedly having an affair with a married man. Paparazzi were outside her house. Tabloids ran stories daily. But the truth was deeper than that. The affair was just a match. The fire had been burning long before. Fantasia later revealed that she had written goodbye letters to everyone close to her daughter, Zion, to her little brother, who had been getting in trouble at school, to her estranged brother, Teeny, who was angry over money, to her manager, her best friend, her mother. She placed the notes in a book, made sure they'd be found. I asked everyone to leave. I went into my closet and I sat there. I looked in the mirror and I just sat for hours. She took the pills. She meant it. And when she woke up in the hospital, angry, groggy, and hooked to IVs, she realized she had survived something she wasn't ready to face. The world found out almost immediately. But what most outlets skipped over was how calculated her industry had become in cleaning up these kinds of breakdowns.
And you see, people, this is how Hollywood breaks people down. You know, now we see a full line of people and how they manipulate people in the industry, make them seem crazy, make them seem depressed. You know, they go and they get these people from a very young age, so they're very impressionable. So yeah, you know, they want a record label, they want to make money, they want fame and fortune and things like that. And so they groom these people into becoming what they want. But you heard what the man said. They wanted to write her story, and she refused to have them write her story. She refused. And so when you refuse, people, you know, these things happen. And so she fell into a very depressing stage in things. But look at all of the other people that came before her that had passed away. She's still here, but she refused to bow down. She refused to lay down, and she refused to open up. So see, the thing is, people, they couldn't do to her like they did to others. They couldn't sexually abuse her. They couldn't continue to keep mentally abusing her. She risen from that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And see, this is the thing. These are the things that I want to try to point out to the people. Because see, everybody all the time want to tear the people down, but you got to look at the full picture. You got to look at the full picture. Yeah, Diddy is a monster, but Diddy is a father too. So you got to take the bad with the good. But see, the thing is, all of the things that Diddy had done, you can't prove it. So instead of continue to keep going and hashing over the stuff that you can't prove, well then, what do? What is it that you do, peoples? You know, and this is the majority of you people. This is how Hollywood is, and the people need to wake up. Stop supporting these demon, devilish, demonic people. So when you don't buy their music and stuff, well then, hey, you know, you're helping someone else out. But when you go and you groove to this madness, well then you just a part of the madness. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? This is what Hollywood does.
Just like so many others, there was always a plan in place to fix the public image, but never to fix the person. She was discharged on the condition that she attend outpatient therapy, and for the first time in years, Fantasia said she stopped pretending. I was in a room with CEOs and lawyers, and I realized they broke too. I wasn't the only one. But the pressure didn't stop. Within days, she was back in front of the camera. Her album was dropping. The label was depending on her. The tour was booked. They told her to rest, but she knew she couldn't afford to. No protection, no grace, just a countdown to the next dollar. It's not a coincidence that Fantasia's darkest hour came while being managed and controlled by a system shaped by Clive Davis and adjacent to Diddy. The same Diddy now facing a federal trial that may pull other powerful men into the spotlight. Because what Fantasia lived through, that wasn't just her personal rock bottom. That was a warning. And this time, people are finally paying attention. Fantasia's breakdown wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a pattern that Clive Davis had been perfecting for decades. A systematic exploitation of young, gifted black women that the industry hoped no one would connect. Whitney Houston, Deborah Cox, Jennifer Hudson, Leona Lewis, all powerhouse voices, all signed under Clive's watch, all controlled, manipulated, or discarded when they stopped fitting his commercial formula. The pattern was always the same: find the talent, promise them the world, control every aspect of their career, and when they start to break under the pressure or refuse to comply, replace them. Whitney's family didn't stay quiet about it. They said Clive cared more about market image than Whitney's health or well-being. While she spiraled into addiction, battling demons that fame had amplified, he was planning press releases for her next album. When Whitney needed rehab, Clive was booking studio time. When she needed support, he provided photo opportunities. The same cold calculation that would later abandon Fantasia was already destroying Whitney. But the money kept coming, so the machine kept running. Then there was Jennifer Hudson, also an American Idol alum, also a powerhouse voice. But Jennifer got the treatment Fantasia was denied. After Dreamgirls exploded and Jennifer won an Oscar, suddenly she had the resources, the attention, the full weight of the Clive Davis marketing machine behind her. It wasn't coincidence, it was strategy. Clive didn't just manage artists, he orchestrated competition. He created hierarchies where there should have been sisterhood. The pattern was always the same. Clive would spot raw talent. These women could sing, they had star quality. He'd bring them into his system with big promises and grand visions. But then he would control every part of their careers, what songs they sang, how they looked, how they behaved in public. It was all about creating the perfect product for the market. And if these women ever started to break down under the pressure, or if they refused to go along with the plan, they were quietly replaced by the next big thing. Whitney Houston's story is one that's been told again and again, and it shows just how ruthless this system could be. Whitney was a legend with a voice that changed the world. But behind the scenes, her family says Clive Davis cared more about her market image than her actual health or well-being. When Whitney was spiraling into addiction and battling deep personal demons, the business didn't slow down.
Any meeting I had with her, any interchange I had with her, she was on top of her game.
While Whitney needed rehab and real support, Clive was busy planning press releases and booking studio time for her next album. Instead of being there for her as a person, she was treated like a product that had to keep moving on the conveyor belt. The same cold, calculated approach that would later abandon Fantasia was already tearing Whitney apart. But because Whitney kept making money, the system kept running, almost indifferent to the human cost. Then there's Jennifer Hudson, another American Idol alum with a powerful voice and undeniable talent. But Jennifer's path was very different from Fantasia's. After Jennifer's career exploded with her Oscar-winning role in Dreamgirls, she suddenly had access to the full force of Clive Davis's marketing machine. She got the resources, the attention, the kind of industry support that Fantasia had been denied at key moments. This wasn't just luck or coincidence, it was strategy. Clive wasn't just managing artists one by one, he was orchestrating competition between them. He created a hierarchy that pit talented women against each other instead of encouraging unity and sisterhood. He made them fight for scraps of attention and resources while he collected profits from all of them. Deborah Cox, a Canadian R&B singer with a voice that many say could rival Whitney's, also fell victim to this system. Her authentic style didn't fit the changing commercial demands, and as a result, she was sidelined. Similarly, Leona Lewis, the British singer who won the X Factor and was given the Clive Davis treatment at first, was quietly pushed aside when market trends shifted. The pattern was clear. Young black women were brought in for their extraordinary talent and molded to fit a commercial ideal. But as soon as they resisted the system, demanded more control over their own art and lives, or when a newer, more compliant artist appeared, they were discarded without hesitation. What made this even worse was how the industry fueled competition between these women. They whispered about who was more talented, who was more marketable, who was easier to work with. These rivalries were artificial, created to keep the artists distracted from the bigger issue. The system itself was exploiting them all. Fantasia's struggles were not a sign of personal failure or weakness. They were symptoms of a system designed to use, compare, and replace women the moment they stopped making money or stopped playing by the rules. The big difference with Fantasia is that she survived. She lived through it all long enough to see the pattern clearly, and now she can speak about it openly. By the time Fantasia turned 40, she wasn't chasing charts anymore. She was chasing peace, and for the first time in years, she was speaking without fear. On red carpets and press tours for The Color Purple, she wasn't just promoting a movie, she was reclaiming herself. The same woman who once nearly died playing Celie on Broadway was now using that same role to tell the world she had survived. She said it wasn't about a check. She turned down the film at first, said no, said hell no. Why? Because she knew what it would force her to face again. The trauma, the abuse, the feeling of being invisible. But this time was different. She had a team. She had a family. She had therapy. She was finally doing it on her own terms. And for the first time in her career, she wasn't afraid to admit how broken the system had been. The industry didn't protect her. The labels didn't shield her. But she made it.
Now that I'm older and I'm wiser,
I'm taking it in as all three.
All right, I
I'm
love
in a
it.
different pocket, different place.
And when asked if this was a comeback, she shut it down. She never left. This ain't a comeback. This is a come up. Fantasia never named names. She didn't need to. Her scars did the talking. But in 2025, with Diddy on trial and Clive Davis's name resurfacing in conversations about manipulation, exploitation, and death in the music industry, Fantasia's survival means more than ever. She crawled out of the hole they left her in. She rebuilt from scratch. She learned to cook her own food, drive her own car, pay her own bills. Not because she wanted to prove something, but because there was nobody left to do it for her. That's the part the industry never expected. They were counting on another breakdown, another overdose, another tragedy to explain away with vague statements and rushed tributes. Instead, Fantasia lived. She watched the machine that almost killed her get dragged into federal court. She watched the mentors and moguls who once seemed untouchable finally get exposed. She watched a new generation start asking questions about contracts, about power, about survival. She doesn't need revenge. She doesn't need to name Diddy or Clive. Her life is the proof. Her music, her faith, her fight. It all speaks louder than the industry ever did. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.
Clive is like my father.
And just like that, peoples, that's how they cancel you. They just say, bye. Just like that, peoples, that's how they cancel you. So I hope these videos is giving you some grand insight as to the stories these people had to face, the atrocities that these people had to go through and whatnot. And so whether you want to blame the people, it ain't the people, it's the system. It is the system that they had been a part of. And it's the people who is the system. Some people survive and some people don't. Well, she survived, peoples. She survived. And I'm glad that she survived, because through all of this madness that has been going on and breaking people down and killing people and writing them off as crazy and stuff, she survived. And you got to have a will to survive. Look at and see, peoples, I want you to notice something. It was all talented young black girls. Young, talented black girls. And notice one thing. They didn't spread their legs for the industry. I said they didn't spread their legs. Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia. They didn't spread their legs for the industry. Because when the industry required them to bow down and bend over, they said, no, not me. Not me. And so they broke away. And see, that's what the industry wants to do, peoples. They want to bend you down, to break you down. They want to bend you over and go in you the wrong way. And that's how they break you. Only to reshape you and to make you into what they want you. They want you to be. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? That's just a system. And this is the system that these young, talented artists have to endure. How many times does these young people have to keep repeating the same old song before you guys finally get it? Look at Beyonce. She's still rising, but now she's on a fall because all of the people that came around her and up under her, she destroyed all to prep herself up. But greater the rise, greater the fall. And now her time and Jay-Z time is at hand. And it ain't nothing they can do to stop the freight train from coming and to running them over. All of these things that they have done in their lives and whatnot is coming back to haunt them. And all of the money, fame, and fortune cannot undo that of what they've done. And so the book is being rewritten. It's being rewritten. And all of those secrets that was done behind closed doors, it is finally being revealed, as you can see. A little bit here, a little bit there. And you see all of these videos that I'm playing, people's, is all the time is just a little bit, but it's giving you insight as to who they are and the various things that they've been doing. Huh? We never was privileged to go to the parties, but we see the party right here. We never was privileged to see the people, but we see the people right here. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? And so where the doors was closed at one point, well, it ain't closed forever, peoples, because every little bit we get a little glimpse to see exactly who they are and how they are. We get a chance to see the lifestyle. And that's what Usher had said. He came there to see the lifestyle and he saw the lifestyle. But instead of just only seeing the lifestyle, he became their lifestyle. And this is why you have to be very careful, peoples, for who you let into your inner circle. Because not everybody appreciates you for you. For there's always wolves in sheep's clothing. And these people all the time coming in their demonic nature. All the time, never satisfied with the way you are, but all the time wants to come and try to change who you are. Stand up and be a witness, peoples. Stand up and be yourself. And never allow nobody to try to change you. Change your mantra, change your voice, change your attitude. Change anything about you. If they don't like you for who you are, well, then you tell them to go somewhere. Goodbye. Thank you. And I won't see you no more. You know? I had to say that to a lot of people. A lot of people came to my channel and a lot of people wanted to watch Edward Joseph, but see, not everybody can deal with Edward Joseph. Not everybody can deal with the way that I am and who I am and how I am and why I do what I do. I have people come and go every single day, and that's fine. You know, that's fine. Because see, the thing is, you show your true colors. See, I'm not going to change for you, and I'm not expecting you to change for me. All I say is, if you can't deal with me, well, there's the door right there. Walk out and don't come back. Shut it behind you. Thank you. Bye. Just like he said. That's going to be my new word. Bye. B-Y-E. Bye. And sometimes I may say goodbye, but most of the times I'm just going to say bye. Farewell. I'm not going to even say see you later because I don't want you to come back. Because see, the thing is, peoples, if you are uncomfortable with Edward Joseph and how I am, well, then don't come back. Leave. Bye. B-Y-E. Bye. Bye. You know? Bye. I'm just going to wave my hand. I'm just going to wave my hand, peoples. Bye. Now, see, one thing this has taught me, peoples, is that, and I look at behaviors. I look at people and I look at behaviors, and your behaviors has taught me a great deal. You know? Your behaviors has taught me a great deal. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, I get it now. I get it. I get it. You know, I get it. And I get it wholeheartedly too, people. So I of all people understand peoples. Do you see what I'm saying? I understand. I've always looked at people and I've always looked at behaviors. I've always looked at the things that people say and people do. And see, when you change from that, then it makes me look at you in a different way, in a different light. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, people come to you in sheep's clothing. They all the time want to come at you and they want to try to butter you up. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, they want to butter you up. They want to come so smoothly and they want to warm you on the inside. And all the time, they have an interior motive. Well, see, people, I'm God's child. And my God speaks to me. You know what I'm saying, people? And so, the Lord doesn't allow things to sneak up on me. He said in his word, yea, though I walk through the valleys of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest the table in the presence of my enemies. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And that's amazing, people. Because see, that's the word of God. And unlike what these young ladies had to endure from what I just shown you, you know, it wasn't just about Cassie. It wasn't just about Rihanna. It wasn't just about, you know, Jaguar Wright. But there was other black young ladies that had to endure the same thing. Taraji P, Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia. We call those the survivors, peoples. Because see, they survived. Just like I'm surviving now, peoples. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of this madness comes in different forms, and people's come in different shapes and sizes and ways. And see, the thing is, people, I don't give into the madness. I don't give into the madness. People get mad at me because I can see right through them. And I'm all the time calling them out for the nefarious madness that they do. Do you understand what I'm saying? So be careful, peoples, because I got eagle eyes. I can see right through you. Now, I may not say it much, all the time, but I'm always aware of my surroundings. I never let my guard down, and I refuse to be a victim when the people try to make me a victim. Do you understand what I'm saying, peoples? I refuse to allow myself to go through just like these girls go through. You got some master manipulators in this community. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got some master manipulators, peoples. And so I refuse to be a victim. So people, let's go ahead and look at this video right here, because you're going to see more darker sides of the industry, and the master manipulation and how they literally treat the people. And don't worry about Clyde Davis. God is going to get him. Yeah, he has his time coming. So enough, he has his time coming, peoples. So let's look at the master manipulators at work.
He's like my father.
You recorded? Check this out. I know I'm black, but Saturday, I'm coming to the party, yo. I'm ready.
This is behind the scenes, getting ready for Saturday.
Boricua. Saturday.
Oh there, hey.
You know he had Puerto Rican,
Hey, boo, hey.
Para mi pueblo, Boricua, para mi pueblo, tú sabes todo. Where we gonna be at? I don't know what you said. What you say? Say something. You know. Disciplina. Te amo mucho. Ahí está. Puerto Rico. Ahí tiene. Puerto Rico para que sepa.
He'd be all taped up and he'd have baby all over him. Hey, brother, what do you think we're gonna do? I look up at him playing cards, go, no baby oil, get out, no baby oil.
Yeah, there you go. Y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Dad.
for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
We applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
T-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
Because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
He expects.
Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for
Fun. Well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a party or a good time, you think of Puff.
You do.
But we've been known to party with you a few times.
yes.
What are I don't know, some of you were just at Puff's birthday.
Yes.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about that?
No, that was an epic night too. Every night.
Why was it so epic?
That night was fun because all the girls ditched me. So I was like me and the boys. Like it was me.
They're a good group of boys to be around with.
Kanye, Corey, T, and we were all just like hanging out, and it was.
You loved it?
It was fun. Yeah, I loved it.
I don't know how you have all the energy, but that's who you are, and I think that's why people are so drawn to you, because you're so eclectic. And I mean, no matter what, no matter how much you work, you don't sleep, you don't do anything, but that's just you. That's like what embodies you. But I know you're all.
Did you ever go to a Diddy party?
Yes.
And what was it like?
A Diddy party?
Is it like what they have in the media, or
off the hook?
Off the hook.
And whenever they went into the quote unquote alleged other section, I was never there.
You were gone.
That's like, I think in general, getting away from Diddy, and God bless him and whatever else he's dealing with. I don't beat people while they're down. That's just not who I am character-wise. No one can erase his legacy.
Does Kevin Hart know something?
Diddy wear.
All right, that's enough.
I know.
That's enough.
I seen him. He shows me behind the curtain.
That's a fucking enough. All right, I'm going to edit. I'm going to edit this out.
But still.
Put a fucking.
Put a note on it. You can edit that one.
The tunnels from Diddy's house led to Hugh Hefner's house.
Cannon.
That naked pool was down there long before Diddy was able to buy a home. It was Hugh Hefner's house where most of the offenses that the women accused Bill Cosby of took place.
Cannon.
The Playboy Mansion.
Miami, me and Puff met while I was on the radio, you know, when I'm breaking records, spinning records. Met him through a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and we just became real brothers.
Yeah, I can't tell you about the first time I met him the real truth. Yeah, I just can't speak on it, you know.
Yeah, some stories gotta be untold.
Yeah.
God is great.
God is great. That we don't have to live that way anymore.
Yeah, we blessed.
He came through.
Yeah.
Make sure you know he came through.
Yeah.
Trunk full.
Yeah.
Trunk was full. Everything was all right.
One thing that I've recognized is that LeBron James, despite saying all of this, is really mum on the Diddy case. I mean, if he cares so much about Black victimhood, you would think that he would use his platform to speak right now when the perpetrators are, you know, his friends, allegedly. Let me show you this clip of LeBron James speaking about how much he loves a Diddy party.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Don't forget to put in the box.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party. And by the way, he's not lying there. From everything that I've read, if these allegations are true, there truly is no party like a Diddy party. Because I don't know any party. I've been to a lot of parties in my youth. Never did we have like pink in bottles and like thousands of bottles of baby oil and people that were sleeping with each other. We just did not. So it could be just factually a true statement to say that there ain't no party like a Diddy party. Now let me show you this clip of him partying with Diddy, dancing to a Migos song. Take a listen.
I got a Richie that sit on my lap, but sometimes I'm always pulling the leg. That's your earth. Ever since I got that rocket chain that took a trip out of space. I was in bird. I'm on my tongue, and they act cool, but they ain't hate. I'm on my work. So when you're playing the purpose, if you do it, I'm a okay. Medicine church.
Well, it looks like he's having a really good time.
Is there anything that you may want to confess tonight before you go in?
I keep everything right here.
There you go.
Or right here.
Yeah. You angelic all the time.
No, people don't really know me, and that's by design.
who is this person, the Sean Combs, that we don't know?
We have yet to find out.
Right.
You have to come along for the ride.
Well, boy.
You have to come. I mean, that's the whole part of the journey. That's the whole part of entertainment. I mean, you don't rock with a brother for like going on 20 years and stop now. You got to see this movie all the way through, baby.
Boy, oh boy.
Believe me, I got an action-packed ending for you.
So do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue. If you're gonna act like you a gangster or a G or the king, I'm gonna expect that. And when you don't come through, then I'm gonna want to crush your empire. And that's what it's time for.
The day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, they got Pop kill,
Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right.
Have you guys seen the video where Wendy Williams is interviewing P. Diddy?
And with that in mind, I know I pissed a lot of people off, including you. Mm-hmm. But this is a full circle moment, everybody.
Yes.
Get into adult conversation.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Hey, back to your lifestyle.
Yes.
Because you live a really hectic lifestyle. And I don't understand all the running around. And who are these people that you surround yourself with? And who are these people? Do they violate you? Do you get robbed? What happens? Now, you threw a house party, and I got the footage. Okay? Look at this. Now, who has this many people at their house? Puff and or Sean, Diddy, Doody. What do I call you?
I think you should call me Puff. You always call me Puff.
I do.
Yes.
Okay. First hurdle jumped. Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous.
I've been to a couple Diddy parties. I'm risking a lot by saying this. What I will say is that one particular party, lots of big names. There was an artist there who said, "Hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here." And I was like, "What? You just don't want to be here at 1 in the morning." It's probably 12:30. I'm downstairs. I go downstairs to the studio. I come up out the studio. And on my way upstairs, there's like this couch. There was a couch. And on the couch, I saw a couple of guys really going at it, hard and heavy. And, and I was like, oh, my brain, I'm thinking, well, this celebrity party, people do what they do. As I started moving upstairs, I passed them up and I noticed that it wasn't just those two guys, it was more and more people just going at it.
There's a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
So was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
It's pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of or a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning.
And I'm sure that's probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's #1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
Yes,
right?
without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
See you at the White.
I was personally disturbed many years ago. Okay, I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern.
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, oh, like this is how it goes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So to hear that things went even further with potentially, allegedly, many other people. Yeah. It's not, we feel like we've seen this coming.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm in a giving mood as my man Ozzy is. What's up, Ozzy? And I would like to auction something off. Okay? Being that I don't spend a lot of time here and I don't really know the crowd, if you win, you get your choice of one of the other. Choice A is a weekend at my house in the Hamptons, fully staffed on the water, East Hampton, New York. Number 2 is a studio session with me in New York or London. I'll produce a record for you or your kids. Or number 3 is a night out with Diddy, Saturday night in New York. And I promise you, your ass will wake up Wednesday laying beside me.
Let's get the men started with this. I'll start with £25,000. I have 25, I have 30, I have 40, I have 50, I have 60, I have 70, 80. You want 90? No, I want the night. Yeah, no, that's right, you just pay. You pay.
3 nights for you, Sharon. 3 nights.
3 nights. Full room and board.
In case you're wondering where Diddy hosted these parties, specifically the parties that took place underground, I was absolutely shocked to find out that there is an underground mansion with tennis courts, indoor pools, marble everything, a literal ballroom. And this checks out because Ali Carter was talking about this underground ballroom. Like, actually, imagine being 5 floors beneath the surface. Willing to bet there's no cell service. What are you gonna do? Scream? Run? Where are you gonna go? Actually terrifying to know that this exists. Like, just want to play tennis in my underground mansion. I have no words. It's crazy.
If you get invited to a Diddy party, you don't go.
That's just one person in the music industry. Imagine the film industry, pro sports industry, corporate oil industry, big tobacco industry. You name the industry. The rule of thumb at CIA is that every time you catch a mole, you have to assume there's 2 more. So when you catch a mole, a penetration inside your agency, when you catch a Robert Hansen, an Aldrich Ames, a Jerry Lee, you have to assume there's at least 2 more. Because the one that you got in, the one that was there, is the one that you caught. And the one that you caught, whoever's handling them is running at least 2 so that they can always have informants about the other. So if we caught 1 from the music industry. There's probably 2 more. Rich people are connected to other rich people. They have rich people problems, which average people can't even fucking conceptualize. And to your government intelligence services, why would you talk to a normal fucking person when you could always get your ass in front of a politician, a famous musician, an actor? It's not hard to get in front of one of those people when you are an intelligence officer. And those people are guaranteed to have access to information that can be useful in your own endeavors to collect and manipulate and influence foreign countries, foreign elections, foreign media.
Mila Kunis has allegedly moved out of the home she shares with Ashton Kutcher because she is aware of the fact that horrible information about Ashton and Diddy together, as well as video footage of the 2 of them together, is about to be released. For those of you who don't know, Ashton Kutcher partied a lot with Diddy in the early 2000s. There are multiple photos of the 2 of them together at various different parties. And a very troubling clip of Ashton Kutcher talking about Diddy's parties on Hot Ones has recently resurfaced and gone viral.
Party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote. If
Oh,
you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
So the rumor is that Mila Kunis is aware of how horrible the information and clips concerning Ashton Kutcher and Diddy are. So she has decided to distance herself from Ashton and completely remove herself from the situation.
Like I said earlier, this is much bigger than Diddy. But if we listen to the media, Diddy is the only monster in Hollywood. When Jaguar Wright tried calling out Jay-Z, Morgan attempted to defend Jay-Z, claiming he wasn't there to defend himself.
I know why there's no vindication for me, because for 4 years I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common professionally and privately: Sean Carter.
How many victims potentially do you think?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Paul?
people against their will, putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane, unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know.
As you heard for yourself, Morgan tried to shut Jaguar up about Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Before Michael Rubin's all-white party, the real all-white party was Diddy.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
These started in the late 90s and continued on for a very long time. Now I'm going to show you an announcement of him at the party, and he says at a certain hour the kids have to go home. But before I do that, take a look at all of these celebrities who attended these parties. I'm not saying the people who attended these parties are guilty of anything. I just want you to know how highly these parties were regarded. We are talking the highest names in every industry. What happens at these parties, I have no idea. You may have seen the clip of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where they talk about it a little bit, which is absolutely wild, but generally no phones were allowed, so good luck finding clips of the parties. But watch this clip.
The legendary white party, it's the real white party. And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to. Okay? So, you know, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. Then an hour, we put the kids away. So
You said Justin Bieber, and I have to ask you because he just has, there's a picture circulating online where they show
He's
Justin.
the new Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, they show him crying. You're almost giving him a gateway to speak his truth of what happened.
I wish Tevin Campbell would speak to him or for him. Because the same thing that they did to him, they're doing to Bieber right now. And I have evidence. That poor kid. And all because he got discovered by Usher. And then Usher took him right over there to the diddler. And let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake.
Got me a Lamborghini. And
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Diddy's situation keeps getting worse. Just when he thought he could bail his way out, this video was released.
You're about to see, it's not a normal thing that's happening, okay? You have a girl in the bathtub. I'm trying to cover up as much as I can. You see what's going on there? You see the smoke? You see the smoke? Her is on fire. Kevin Hart finds it hilarious.
Now, mind you, he had offered $50 million in order to make his way out, but after everything has slowly but steadily come to light, it was quickly rejected and he was placed on suicide watch.
I remember Diddy saying, if you get on your knees.
What was he talking about? I said, if you get on your knees, you're supposed to cry. If you're singing a song.
Oh, okay. We segueing into the Drink Champs interview when you was with Nori and Fab and Jada and everybody. They made a compilation video of you because they said you were sounding real suspect on the interview.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Of course I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
Guys, the leaked video of Justin Bieber partying with P. Diddy has just emerged and it looks horrifying. Bieber was not in his right state of mind. Here's the video.
Oh, he's bad boy now.
Look at that. Whoa, look at that.
It's your icon alert.
Look at that.
It's called.
Does that look normal to you guys? What's going on here? He gets down on his knees, starts drinking. Diddy right there. Look at his eyes.
I just didn't understand and just how deep rooted they are in hip hop, and they made us aware of it before. You know, we even found out from other people that there was this expectation on us. They said, hey, I was really onto something there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I'm never going to try that one again.
The year 2024 has proven to be quite a whirlwind for some of the industry criminals, and it seems like more names are about to be exposed in relation to sickening allegations against Diddy. As you know, the music mogul is drowning in the sea of essay accusations, and some of this activities even involved illegal, intimate connections. However, this drama is about to go even deeper as it involves Diddy's old pals, the Smiths. Apparently, Jaden Smith has also fell the victim of the music mogul's flavor camp, and just like Usher and Justin Bieber, this young man has experienced what it felt like to be mentored by Sean Combs. As Jaden shockingly revealed in his interview, it was his mom, Jada Pinkett Smith, who forced him into these sickening activities.
Hey, you know, when you can experiment and just kind of just try different things.
Okay, the Smiths are not your typical American family, and Jaden have repeatedly described the creepy atmosphere he was growing in. Apparently, Jada Pinkett Smith has her own views on how to raise a kid, and she even introduced her son to some mind-altering substances at an early age. It's becoming increasingly difficult to be surprised by anything ever done by Jada in relation to her kids, but now it looks like her questionable parenting is about to turn into the whole essay saga, which involves Diddy. While many celebrities have found themselves exposed in the public eye, attending the music mogul's freak-off parties,
do whatever the fuck I want to do, whenever, however the fuck I want to do it. You know why? Because I'm the freest nigga in the world. End of discussion.
Excuse me, I need the phones, guys. I need your phones. I need your phones. I need your phones. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Quincy, I know you have 2 phones, Quincy. Oh, there you go. That's what I love. Yeah. Just Flow. So proud of you, Just Flow. Look at that. Got all the phones. Do I have everybody's phones? So we got two cars. We got this car and the car over there. How would you like to? I mean, yeah, we can go get him when we finish. Okay. Joe, somebody hold that. Tell me to hold it.
Let me tell you, what they do is they invite you to these parties, these house parties, and then they be like, oh, Whoop the Whoop gonna be there, like your favorite rapper, the big ass person, and Whoop the Whoop gonna be there. Oh, before you get in, you gotta give us your phones and all this shit, and then they might do some gay shit to somebody, and then like try to like and record it and tell them, oh, if you expose us, we gonna post it everywhere. And I know that from word of ear, but I know they do a lot of crazy shit in these house parties. And
I'll tell you a secret. It's just us two, right?
Yeah.
After I knocked out Pereira in Miami, we went to Tootsie's the next night, and they were like, yo, P. Diddy wasn't here watching your fight last night. I was like, wait, word? Crazy. Then I went and checked my DMs, and I saw, oh, he hit me up. And he was talking about 2 months later, I want to do an interview or whatever. And I said, here's my manager's number. Bob, cool. Nothing ever came off it. But again, that's why I say God be protecting me.
Right.
Because who knows? Like, you never know. Oh, yeah, we're having this party later on. Yeah, that's cool. All right, cool. And then they start to, like, you know, you find some chick, you pull on you, and then, boom. Oh, how was that 15-year-old? Like, wait, what?
Right. And you're filmed. Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah.
He had, apparently, allegedly, cameras all over the house, and 100,000
bottles of baby oil.
Yeah, what?
Nobody's that ashy, bro. 1,000 bottles. Also, by the way, that lube, coconut oil is better. Fucking water-based lubricant. Yeah. But baby oil is acidic as fuck. Johnson & Johnson's. Like, that's demonic, bro. Like, why would you use baby oil? Even if your dude, nah.
Where are his celebrity peers saying, oh my God, this is detestable. We do not stand for this. The way that women came forward after Harvey.
Yeah.
Where are they? Everybody's quiet. Why?
Where's Ashton Kutcher? Where's, honestly, Usher? Where's Justin Bieber? Justin Bieber, I have no knowledge. They're not alleging his name in any of this, but Justin Bieber was very young when he came into Diddy's circle. And that tape you referenced of the two of them about to spend 48 hours together or having just was disturbing. And there's no question he had a lot of exposure to this guy. And I think he should say something. But now if he's a victim, he's in a very difficult spot because he's been abused.
Hard House shut down all 4 of its locations this week in Hollywood, Westchester, Monrovia, and University Park South. The restaurant debuted in 2022. No word on why the chain is closing down, but the company's CEO released a statement saying, in part, we thank our committed team, our customers, and our community partners for helping make the change we all craved and for their unwavering support of Hard House.
And then, peoples, I asked the question. Did you do it? Diddy, did you do it? Peoples, you've seen the videos. You heard my commentary. You heard what the people said. You seen what the people did. And the guy lastly talked about the baby oil. And so my question is, did he do it? That is the question. Now, you need to answer it. So, peoples, I hope I had said something to encourage your hearts upon tonight. Tune in again next time to an Edward Joseph Let's Talk Live. Edward Joseph Kitchen, Edward Joseph Gospel Hour, Edward Joseph's Blessings Giveaway 2025 will come to you with something wonderful. I love you with the love of Christ, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peoples, mask up and be safe. And again, peoples, I'm going to leave you with the question. Diddy, did you do it? God bless you all. Thank you for watching.
I might just flash out on my pappy for that whole shit that he did. How you fucking on my mama, but couldn't take care of your kids? What's the point of calling you daddy when you never was a father? And what's the point of reaching out when a nigga ain't ever even bothered? So what's the point of me talking? I picked the same kind of BD. What's the point of him being 32, fucking me at 17? What's the point of being sad? They just gon' label you as fast, cause you know dope boys not pedophiles long as they get in the bag. So what's the point of being mad? You better off not giving a fuck. They be screaming they hate people.